Yeah.
I'm addicted to the thrill. It's a dangerous love.
So, you know what we're going to do?
We're gonna tonight.
Entering Natty State Studio, the sport media palace of Mid-America, the Wolf of Center Street. Here's your host, John Nabors.
And welcome in to the John Nabors Show, normally live from the Natty State Sports Studios, but we decided to take our shows on the road and especially, take our talents to the Central Arkansas area as we are broadcasting live from Rock and Roll Sushi right here in Conway at 975 South Amity Road, right here off the interstates. And we can't wait to tell you about all the things that they got going on at Rock and Roll Sushi. But guys, it's highfalutin. Like, we're living it up. We're doing good things, big things. And it's nice.
Here.
Yeah.
This is awesome, man. Patio action, cozy couches.
The couch is super cozy.
Well, this is, we were talking about this earlier. This is like the biggest rock and roll sushi, like the one in Fayetteville, which is, right now is
the new
taking
one,
over Pyology. I was thinking about it on the way up here. I was like, I don't know what the setup's going to be like because, those locations are pretty, pretty small, but this one's massive.
This is legit, man.
We're chilling outside.
Yeah.
Got a nice little patio. There's a nice little indoor going on there. We're right by the bar.
Yes, that's actually the most important spot right here. Rock and
Got the
Roll
TV
Sushi.
set up right in front of us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you couldn't ask for anything more than what we got going on right here, folks. And we appreciate all of you watching in and listening in as we're going to be out here till 6 o'clock this afternoon. And we're going to have plenty of things to talk about from the weekend of sports. And also going to have Chris Alley of the Rock and Roll Sushi joining us here after a while. Tell us about all the great things that they have going on here. When you get to your messages, get to your phone calls, you can call in at 936-246-2889. And I'm sure that those will go really well, considering how they normally do in the sports talk radio scene. But yeah, come on out and see us, because again, we're gonna be out till 4 or till 6, and we'll probably be out here even longer, kind of depending on where the night takes us. But we're gonna be excited for Razorback Basketball at Dickey Stevens Park tomorrow, North Little Rock action, and we'll have some updates, hopefully on some basketball stuff, guys. Because
could somebody in Fayetteville let us know if Carter Knox committed yet?
Dude,
what's going on?
Like, how do we get? How did
anybody
get
actually see him on campus or no?
He has put out a photo of himself in Fayetteville.
Ooh.
So he dropped the pin on his IG in Fayetteville. So he has arrived. That much we know.
Jordan Burke should have done that too.
He should have done that. Yeah.
Where do you think that they're taking him? Like, where's he going? Is he just going? Doze, yeah. As I say, is he just going to the?
Why doze?
That just happened so fast.
There was no hesitation. I was like, okay.
Like he knew.
Yeah, he's going to Dose. He'll be at Dose tonight.
Big Dose guy. Big Dose guy.
He
But
loves the tamales and steak combo, and so they wanted to take him with somewhere where he can get both of those.
I like that. I like the crackers and salsa situation.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the
So does
Tootsie
Carter
Roll
Knox.
pops at the end.
So does
Yeah.
the chicken burger.
Yeah.
Carter
Yeah.
Knox. We were talking about this earlier.
the Chicken Man.
Yeah. So do you remember, John, when Caleb Battle went live on his Instagram to
I do.
give us a lot of good information?
Very
He
entertaining.
kept talking about how he calls chicken sandwiches chicken burgers.
Oh.
And he went on this whole rant about chicken burger, chicken burger, chicken burger. And then Curtis tweeted out a chicken emoji and a burger emoji because Carter Knox, is the chicken man. He changed his Instagram name, and he's a burger boy,
Yeah. McDonald's All-American. Yeah.
fringe 5-star, McDonald's All-American, all that. He's a burger boy. He is the chicken burger that Caleb Battle prophesies.
Well, I'm hoping that he is a guy that's.
He just connected a lot of dots.
Yeah, if that all happens, then I'm going to say, you know what? Ellis
First
is on top of
reported
this.
by Andrew Ellis. Cite me on the message board when you run with this and you tell all your buddies, oh, Andrew Ellis, it was me.
This is some Zodiac decoding type stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, let's say I was not expecting that to happen here in the early going. But listen, I'll take it because I think everybody's just on edge, waiting for a player to commit.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice if it would happen here sometime soon.
Well,
But-
yeah, it would be really nice if it happened here sometime soon. Scotty and I have spent back-to-back weekends just on the edge of our seats waiting in the event that we would need to go live for a commitment. It didn't happen last weekend, but then they got Big Z on Monday.
Which was nice.
And then nothing happened this past weekend. We were waiting on a couple, Maybe.
Oh, you got
maybe,
Kenny Payne.
Maybe today.
Yeah, that was that.
Kenny Payne,
That-
75K per win.
That right there feels like it happened longer ago than the Big Z commitment.
Yeah.
And that was Kenny Payne was Thursday night.
Yeah.
Well, we came up with a pretty good logistics of how y'all would go live in the car on the way down here. Because, I mean, we really thought, I mean, you never know in this day and age when stuff happens. We thought, we was like, hey, what are we going to do if someone commits while we're on the road? We were thinking maybe we'd stop at a location in Russellville, maybe in Alma or whatever. But we also figured out we could probably go live from the car. So on the way back on Thursday, maybe that'll happen.
Yeah, we were fully primed to go YouTube live on my phone with the selfie stick. Scotty driving.
Oh, hold on. So you're saying other people have selfie sticks here besides me? Because
I
I'm
did-
always
I
the one that gets
100%.
crap for it.
No,
You
I've
know?
got
Curtis
one,
a
bro.
big selfie stick
Big
guy.
selfie stick guy.
Listen, it works. It does the job. I'm always,
It's a combo selfie stick tripod.
those are the best.
So sometimes I'll just set it up, but
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyle for telling me one time he saw John with his selfie stick at practice, and he was like, "What's up? What is it with you and your bosses and selfie sticks?"
Well, most of the time we just like taking pictures of ourselves, and that's about that. But it's still, it's people are waiting on the pop. I don't know when it's going to happen. I know you guys have been asked about it a
coming.
lot, but it's going to happen. And with the Carter Knox situation, that getting thrown out there, and I know you guys talked about a lot on Pod at the Palace this morning too, and just looking at the other names of players that are into the mix. The Roach is no longer in.
Yeah.
Decided to take his
That one
talents to where was that?
Tweet I
At,
had queued up is
Baylor.
no longer going to be.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think of what was the thing that they had that they made a Netflix special down there in Waco, the Waco massacre or whatever that was.
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
that's
connection.
I
crazy.
mean, there was another pop right around Waco, right around the April 19th weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
crazy.
One was a little
Hey,
bit
but did y'all
different
see
than the others.
that? Speaking of Waco, they named that booth at that whatever Tex-Mex place that Scott Drew was at. They named it after him.
That's good.
Oh,
they
yeah,
put
that's
that
right.
photo that they tweeted out. They put it on the booth.
Do we
Just so
think they
people know.
really paid 1.5
There's
mil
no
for
way, dude.
Jeremy
No.
Roach?
There's no way.
No, Jeremy Roach himself called cap on that claim.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Like,
He said, "I wish."
But
Would
then
you
again,
pay 1.5 for John L. Davis if you're Arkansas?
I'd pay any amount John L. Davis.
he's a guard
talked me
that you
into.
would pay 1.5 for. Yeah. Like if Roach is like, he's not a bad, like he's a good player. He's got Final Four experience with Duke, and he's low turnover, high assist guy. Scored at average like 14 last year. Like he's a guy that you pay good money for, but he's not like
Yeah, let's not get
He's
carried
not a
Well,
away.
we were
million
talking
and a
about this
half
with
guy.
Ballo. When Ballo, the number was 1.2 being floated, I was like, I think that's, if I were going to pay in that range, I would want it to be a lead guard that I was like confident is a shot creator for himself and other people.
Yeah.
I think John L. Davis is that. And so he would, and even Jeremy Roach is that. So it's like, those are the guys. It would have to be like the number one option on your offense.
like a 20 point per game type of guy. Like
Yeah.
he
Or a
comes with
guy
that
that's just-
expectation.
a guy that is
if
just
you're paying him that
responsible
much.
for carrying your offense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Like
whereas
if-
like Ballo wouldn't have been that.
If Hunter Dickinson re-entered the portal, then yeah. Like big
Because
men
you'd run
are,
offense through him.
big men are at such a premium that their price is so much higher with NIL, but they're only as good as the guard who's getting them the ball,
yeah.
yeah.
and setting them up for shots. So
A wise man by the name of RMS told me the other day, no, the 1 and the 5 are the most important positions in college basketball these days. And he's right. You know, 1s and 5s. Everything in between, that's Eric
John's right
Musselman's.
beside you. Why do you have to call him RMS?
Yeah.
Everything in
That's
between
the
1 and
rumors
5,
with me.
that's the Eric Musselman zone. The 6'6" guys that can't shoot.
Yeah.
You got to have a good point guard. You got to have a good big man. And, we'll see if Arkansas can get it done.
I
Yeah.
really hope that Arkansas gets somebody on their roster next year that can make a three
Man, you ain't lying. I'm
every
sick of
now
that
and then.
crap,
Like
dude.
it made me legitimately sick to my stomach driving down here today. Kobe Brea just drops his
tough.
final 5, and it's just like the Blue Bloods.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about the 3-point shooting, not to go on too much on a tangent and not to speak ill of the departed from this job. But I was thinking like Mike Anderson had better 3-point shooting teams than Muss.
He
John
absolutely did.
That
Pelfrey.
first Must
John
team,
Pelfrey had better.
that
Stan
first
Heath,
Must team with Joe and Jones,
that was
he,
it.
he rode that just because they were already there. But yeah,
And they were Mike Anderson guys. Because I was thinking like you could probably name 3 to 5 off the top of your head Mike Anderson guys that were really good 3-point
hey,
shooters.
Mike Anderson, low key a super soaker developer.
Yeah, just at least in the 3-point
Antoine
game.
Bell, I mean, come on.
Dude, yeah, Antoine Bell,
you sleeping
Chucky
on
Hannes.
Mardrakus Wade.
Dude, yeah, Mardrakus
Well,
Wade.
hey, one thing that Arkansas players did do under Mike Anderson, they would become better shooters by the end of their career. Like Michael Qualls steadily rounded out his game a little bit. Someone like Kai Madden shot it better
Yeah.
as he got older. I'd settle
Well,
for that.
I hope Ben Brandon is tuned into this show right now. We all know Ben Brandon. When I think about what happens to shooters who came to Arkansas under Eric Musselman, I think about what happens to good hitters who have joined the St. Louis Cardinals in the last decade.
I thought
Like,
we were
it's
getting
just-
Nate Thompson slander.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a place where you come to die.
Yeah.
Like your career just dies.
Yeah.
And we've seen that over and over with the Cardinals, and it's been the same thing. Like all these
Hey,
guys
shout
who are
out to
supposedly
Musco.
good
He just got
shooters.
another commit
that
from a
say?
kid that shoots 23% from deep.
Yeah.
Shout out to
He's
him.
he's moved from the
The
exciting
more
whites
things
to,
change, they stay the same.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, like, why is that though? I mean, you guys are ball knowers. Like, why? How does a player who's like, oh, he's at Temple or something, shooting, 40% from three, and he comes in, he's like, he's 29%.
I have the
I mean,
answer to this.
What is it? A simple one or is it complicated?
It's simple.
Okay.
Well, a lot of times when was asked about that, he'd say, "Well, they just got to get in the gym. They just got to
okay.
they got to put in work after hours." So
Devo showed that theory is
It's
not
it-
good.
100%.
It worked for a
But
semester.
the other thing about it is they didn't run live. They didn't scrimmage.
No.
They didn't go 5-on-5.
Unless
And
we were
so-
there.
Yeah, so everything's drills or going against managers or whatever. Then you get into a game and you're guarded by a future NBA player, and the shots are rushed a little bit. It's not as comfortable. It's not as fluid.
Yeah. Because
Hey, where are you getting your shots up? You're getting
Right.
it in the practice facility,
Yeah.
and then your games are played across the street in a building that seats 20K.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's not the same shooting in the PF as it is in Bud Walton.
Right.
And it's also like unless these Arkansas is not getting a whole lot of kids that play in buildings that are that size.
Yeah.
And they're used to playing in gyms that are like Temple size or Cincinnati size. And that makes a difference. It
Yeah.
really does.
No.
Also, Arkansas is not big on like the drive and kick and like get the assisted 3-point attempts. They take a lot of off the dribble threes.
Yeah.
Like a weird amount. It's for a team, especially for a team that doesn't shoot a ton of threes at a high volume. Seems like a lot of their 3-point attempts are off the dribble. And so it's like all these guys shoot worse off the dribble. He watched Jackson Robinson brick a few corner threes and was like, no one can ever make a corner three. We're never going to attempt one again. It's going to be wing pull-ups for the rest of my tenure here. It's just crazy how it worked out. But yeah, it doesn't seem like Arkansas has those. I mean, every now and then you'll see someone get a wide open look and they'll make it. But it's like you don't see Arkansas getting those like drive and kick wide open. Jeremiah Davenport's a guy who should be getting 5 spot-up threes a game. Really didn't work out that way just for whatever reason.
Yeah.
No. And I miss it. Like there was great aspects to what Muss was doing, obviously, with defense, and you had some really great gifted athletes. Like Trevin Brazil was awesome. Justin Smith was incredible. I mean, you had some really, but it was just that's such a big part of basketball in today's game, and you just never had it. You never had anyone that was consistent enough that you could count on. I mean, yeah, like Caleb Battle would go for a lot at some point in time, but everything else was just kind of meh. So I'm hoping that they actually get to that point to where it starts changing up. As Daniel Shee has entered into the chat.
Dude,
Oh, man.
you cracked me up the other night when you told Chi you were going to call the cops on him. Dude, I was dying
Dude,
laughing.
okay, we got to explain that story for those who don't know. So Daniel Shee, what is he? Like, what does he do? Like,
He's my best friend.
Okay.
Other than that,
He
I don't
writes
know.
for All Hogs.
Okay, that's.
She's been putting up a good fight lately.
That's
I mean, I can
crazy,
understand
bro.
it.
That's crazy.
His beaming
What's up,
personality is awesome.
You're my best friend.
But
Hey, relax. Hey,
I
We're
hate
playing characters here. We're playing characters.
she's
but
the man.
You just made the switch just now?
yeah,
you say she's the man?
he's the man.
She's the man.
she's the man. That was
She's
one of
the
my
man.
favorite movies of the early 2000s.
Amanda Bynes, man.
Choose the
Great
man.
movie.
Yeah. But also about that thing is that he's a very interesting cat and character.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, whenever he has come to our office space there in downtown Fayetteville and he has seen me, he's apologized for being there.
He does that
He's
a
done
lot.
that twice. And I'm like, I do not care. It's not like you're coming in here and sacrificing goats or something weird. Like,
I
you're
like
just
some
coming in
good
to hang out.
self-deprecating.
He's big
Yeah,
on. He
I
doesn't
got
want to
that.
impose. So
Right,
no matter
yeah.
what, if it's showing up in the press box, if it's drinking,
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry for doing this," and I'm like, "Hey, you don't have to apologize for
Yeah.
existing." You know,
Yeah,
it'll be all right.
for being you and being here. But yeah, so it's just like I wanted to mess with him a little bit as I was leaving. I just said, hey, if I see you here again, I'm calling the cops. And like he kind of came to a little like wave. I don't know if he thought I was serious or I don't know what it was, but it was just a very funny interaction. That kid is very funny. So hopefully he understands that.
Questionable
It's all love.
decision making. He interviewed me for a story not so long ago.
Yeah.
I don't know about him.
Yeah, dude, anybody that ever interviews any of us, I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of like, why? I mean, we
We
appreciate
had the
it.
5 News people coming to interview John the other day.
Yeah.
Midstream.
Yeah, and I was just sitting there like, man, I am not wearing the right shirt for this, but that's okay because we get the logo out there though. But folks, we're live at Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway at 975 South Amity Road. So come on out and see us. Not only until the show ends at 6 o'clock, but they do stay open past 6, and they do have phenomenal sushi, phenomenal hibachi, and we're going to be diving into some of that here on the live stream too. So people get to watch us eat. I mean, what could be better than that?
Love that.
Yeah, it's like we're mixing in the Food Network a little bit here on Natty State Sports. So
Pretty good.
Yeah. Are you guys talking about DMs that are going on right now?
No, I just told Curtis to check his DMs. There's a funny one.
Okay. It's just hopefully.
We're
No,
talking.
it's
Is it one that we can share with the
messaging.
class,
No,
or
I mean,
is it a?
okay.
According to Natty State Sports, as of
like
recently.
literally, like nobody cares about this, but Brandon Murray is in the transfer portal again. Started his career at LSU, then went to Georgetown, and then he went to Ole Miss. Right now, he's in the portal again. He's about to be in his 4th school in 4
He
years.
was a big recruit, right? Or like a 4-star type of guy. Like I remember when he was at LSU, he was like kind of known as something.
Hasn't there been another player that's been like that though? Like those was it?
There's a lot of players,
but
like
like that went to like 4 schools in 5 seasons, if that, and like all of them were decent schools and
just
everything.
a career transfer.
a lot of them stop
Yeah.
at Georgetown too. You know,
Yeah.
like that Akinjo guy that started at Georgetown and then went to like Texas Tech and then went to like 3 other places. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, well, it's I guess whatever they
You know
try
who
to get.
you know
them-
who else likes to go to schools? Snacks Johnson,
Yeah, we were gonna bring
big
that up.
school attender.
Yes, and apparently he's also in the transfer portal, which people misunderstood my tweet about that when I was like, no, I was bummed because everyone's like, I got replaced by Slaughter. What do you want, crap
Yeah,
players
people
instead?
really were mad at you.
I was just like, okay, I miss him because he had a beaming personality and he was pretty funny. He was entertaining. But hey, listen, he got beat out, and that's what happens because I think this is his final year of eligibility, anyways. So,
Oh, it had to be right.
I mean, it's just-
Snacks was always good for like if you did a practice report, you're just like you're writing a story on him. There's going to be a lot of color there.
Yeah.
because he's the guy that's like, hey ref, that's not pass interference. What do you like? You need some glasses,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like, and he would celebrate like crazy.
he would talk to the opposing team a lot.
Any incompletion that he would force, everybody in the city heard about it.
Yep.
'Cause he was just he's
liked to
one of the
talk.
most. He's like the most vocal guy in that
I
defensive
like that
backfield
comment
I could
from
ever
Counts
remember.
right here.
Yeah,
That's
it.
the one.
Yeah. I know Cal is going to get us some of the best depth in the country, but whether he can get guys like John L. Davis and Jonas Adu, is that how you say his right? Adu?
Yeah.
Are the difference
That'll do.
between a monster year and year one.
I
So,
said this on the Pod at the Palace this morning. I'll say it again now. If you hired a Hall of Fame coach and you paid him Hall of Fame money and you gave him Hall of Fame NIL, then those are the type of dudes you have to get. Like they're gonna have
point.
a really good team no matter what, and
Yeah.
they're gonna get some of these guys from Kentucky. They're gonna get some of the freshmen, and they're gonna get some transfers. It's gonna be a contending type of roster.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind about that. But to do all the things that you've done, those are the kind of guys that you go get. The Nelly Davises of the world, the Jonas Adus of the world, and that's the way you make a
Curtis
statement.
said it like 2 months ago. This is like Nelly Davis is a guy that you drop minimum $1 million on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just do
Minimum.
it.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 player in the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
Go
and
get him.
And I was thinking about this too, because going to the angle of Kenny Payne, I was looking at the record when Kentucky had Kenny Payne compared to when he didn't, and
I'm really good.
I'd say it's like yeah,
it's just right here, not in my eyes.
yeah. Well, like I said, you just do the
It
other
keeps
side.
moving a little bit.
Yeah,
But I'm glad that our it's now starting to move.
yeah.
we're
It's
good.
getting there. It's getting there.
It was burning up here
Yeah,
earlier.
I'm gonna
I
have a
thought when I
weird
sat
tan
down
line.
right here, I was going to be in the clear.
You were in the
It's
good
just,
spot,
It got
yeah.
worse. It's
Yeah,
getting worse.
yeah. Well, give
Battle
you some
through
sun
Thursday.
on your pasty whites. But I was thinking about like when Kenny Payne was there at Kentucky and like seeing the record. I didn't realize. So the year that they went to the NIT with Archie Goodwin and everything, they still finished 3rd in the SEC that year. Like
That's back when the SEC was not what it.
No,
I mean,
no, but
it
they went
sucks now,
12 and
but-
6, and so that's like what was crazy is like that was the worst year they had, and so I think people are also kind of going back to not only the recruiting thing with Kenny Payne, but I'm like, hey, look at the record. When once he left, it's all went bad for Kentucky.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's the case or not, but when it comes to the recruiting element and getting him, of course, Antigua going to Illinois, I know people were kind of in the mix for him. It's I still think it's going to be fine, and like you said. I don't imagine John Calipari having a roster that does not have at minimum 3 NBA players. Like at minimum.
You know, the thing that's given me optimism is that basketball season doesn't start next month. So
Wait, what?
I'm holding out some I'm still holding on to that optimism that Cal's going to get it figured out.
Well, what'd you say on the way here? You said he's been here 12. He's been the head coach at Arkansas for 12 days.
Yeah, he got hired on.
When you said that, I was like,
April 10th.
wow, I couldn't believe that. But these decisions that are being made are not spur of the moment. Oh, yeah, he's just going to show up and then there'll be 9 dudes committed. Like, it is what it is. These things take time. And
yeah.
Look, when you're a $1 billion organization, you make $1 billion decisions.
That's right.
They take a little bit more than a day or two.
I do think that 2 things can be true. Like anyone who's irritated that there hasn't been more movement, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like I 100% understand that with, you know, the chicken man money that you've been pimping out, and
the way we were talking when he got hired, we were like, he'll have 5. You know, everybody was saying like, oh, he's gonna have all these commits by whatever.
And he should have more than 1 right now. He just should. I mean, that's there's a lot of truth to that. But he's still going to get it done. It ain't as fast as everybody wanted it to happen, but he's still going to get it done. Like, there shouldn't be any doubt about that. So if you're upset that they haven't gotten more commits already, that's cool. You're well within your rights to feel that way. But should that turn you off to the whole operation? Nah, they're gonna be just fine. And the news is coming.
Are you advocating for some nuance in here to where like we're supposed to just evaluate as things happen, and then when news happens we can react, and then when the roster's together we can kind of assess how we feel about it.
Yeah.
But we were talking about on the way up here, like say that someone commits right now, like say Carter Knox commits while we're on stream. We can talk about how cool Carter Knox is and how we think he might do, but it's like when you don't know the rest of the context, it's really hard. I don't know the rest of the roster. I don't know what his role is going to be.
He might, whether he's him or not, he's him right now. If he commits today,
right. He's at worst the number 2 option. At worst.
So we were talking about it on the way down here. Like if Carter Knox commits today, then at least you have him, Z, and Lawson Blake. They can do 3-man weave at practice.
Ooh,
you know,
he's the man, like you said. He's the man.
He's the man.
They can at least enter that 3-on-3 tournament that they did that one year for like all this thing. They can just enter. The Arkansas Razorbacks are here.
Exactly.
Ooh, what would Anthony Black get if he was in the transfer portal today?
As much as anyone in college basketball could do.
100%.
He's also another
Nelly
guy.
Davis money.
He's a guy who like is marketable in a weird way, where like he's very good at the social media and like. I mean, the Grady Dick stuff, you know, he has an eye for like what to, he's so popular. If he came back for a sophomore year in college basketball, he would have been such a big star nationally. I think that comes into his NIL valuation of just how much exposure he brings to a program. Anthony Black's one of the coolest Razorbacks that have happened in the last decade.
100%.
Love that guy.
Yeah, and also, you know, going back to the marketability, people love interesting, unique people. And like with his hair, for instance, I know it's great, but like that's unique. And people are like, oh, yeah, even if it's not Anthony Black, but they see somebody with the hair of Anthony Black, like, oh, that's Anthony Black.
What's his little brother's name? Beckham?
Beckham
Black. That's a great name. It's a great
he's
name.
a dog.
Yeah, he needs to not go to USC and needs to come to Arkansas. He needs to do that. But
What up, L?
hour 2 of Curtis is going to be fire after a few more cold ones.
Well, that's why y'all got to come to Rock and Roll Sushi, because, like, when the camera goes off, we don't go off.
Wow.
You know, in fact, the beers are going to keep coming. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. So come on out. Yeah.
Y'all want the scoops on who's committing? Show up at Rock and Roll Sushi tonight.
We'll tell you all the things.
I'm one more away from just giving all the deets here.
Yeah. He's got the entire. He's got a red dot on his head right now, but he'll duck out of the way and move and
right.
give you all the takes if y'all will just.
Curtis has the roster already.
I've seen
he
like
knows the roster.
I've seen like 40 comments about Arkansas offering AJ DeBonsa today. He's the number 1 prospect in 2025. Cool. I mean that's great, and I hope.
I mean, that's expected, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think those are the kind of guys that they're going to be, you know, competing for. And they were recruiting him hard at Kentucky, so like Arkansas could very well be in the mix for that. And he's a Cooper Flag type of dude. Like he's that type of talent.
Yeah.
So I'll be really excited about that after they fill the roster for next season. That's just kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
I've seen him, you know, throwing out offers to a bunch of 2025 guys, and that's cool because the future is now. Like you've got to do that, but you got 1 scholarship player right now, so get enough players committed to where you have a lineup you can put on the floor, and then I'll be excited about the guys for the following year.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I think about it.
But
like
DeBonsa's the truth. Don't get me wrong. He's really good.
Give me Jonas Adu or something like that, and then tomorrow I'll be like, you know, I really like this 2025 kid that they offered.
Exactly.
Because we've already talked about Adu a little bit. That would be super exciting. But yeah, like the future is now, but like next season is right now. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking about just like when you mentioned the transfer portal, and I just feel like it's this way with more so with football, but even it's this way with basketball too. It's like don't let stress about until the roster's finalized. Because I'm like,
Right.
what is it going to do for you to freak out about timing? Like, we talk about the players, we talk about who's coming in, who's not coming in, who's interested, who's not interested. But it's like, till you get them on the court and on the field or whatever it is, it's like there's no reason for you to stress out about why is it not happening yet? Like, yeah, it's annoying, it's frustrating. I am too, but is anybody going to remember if they put together an all-star roster that's filled with NBA players in the fall? Be like, this roster's great, but I had to wait too long for that.
Exactly.
I
No one's
never
gonna get
remember
ripped.
like the time frame of these stuff. Like I kind of remember when Audis Tony committed because I was right on my way to dinner, but Curtis was tied up or something like that, so I ended up having to like help him out with something. But it's like I don't remember the time frame of when this stuff happened.
Yeah.
Like when did Stanley Amude commit? Was it June, July? Like, I don't know. I really don't remember.
It
And
was,
like
it was fairly early in the process, but
Gotcha.
it was after Chris Likes.
Trey Wade was late.
Trey
I
Wade was
remember
very
Tremont
late.
Mark because it was on Easter.
Yeah.
That's like the
Yeah.
only one I remember. I
feel like-
also remember Chandler Lawson because he was like 3 days before my birthday,
Yeah.
like
There you go.
late June.
Because wasn't everybody from last year like bam, 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 pretty quickly? Like, let's,
And then there was a
And they all
long
long,
break.
yeah.
and they all sucked.
yep. And then, it's
Yeah,
like,
you want quick? They're all gonna stink. That's what's gonna happen.
hey, never forget when this team was preseason ranked like number 8.
So what you're telling me
Fox
is Louisville
Sports.
is going to stink next year? Is that what's going to happen? Is that what's happening?
Based on I don't know anything about Louisville's roster. Yes, they're gonna stink next year.
That's a great comment from JT Hazelwood.
That
Says
is a great comment.
Kaysen Pryor, Kaysen Pryor
Kaysen.
could be a glue guy at the 4. We talked about him today on the pod. He's a Grant Nelson-ish dude from South Florida. I like him a lot, man. And so like you've heard some maybe sexier names mentioned with Arkansas at the 4 because we've seen like all these big dudes like Jonas Adu and Brandon Garrison, Umar Ballo, whoever, they've got Big Z. And then you hear about some of these guards, but it's like who's going to be in that swing role? This guy from South Florida would be a great fit. He can knock down threes, he can put it on the floor. And he might not be as attractive as a name as like a Dylan Mitchell from Texas, who was McDonald's
Oh,
All-American.
that's an attractive name right there.
It is, but Pryor might be a better player.
He's
a
the
better
number
fit.
6 available player in the portal by on 3. Number 6.
Pryor is?
Really?
Yes.
Never
Well, now
mind.
that Arkansas's
I didn't know
not
he had
poor,
it like that.
Yeah, he's,
Now that the Hogs aren't
not,
poor.
like not
Yeah.
committed by on 3. So it's like
Right.
there's some qualifiers there, but yeah,
they can maybe
he's
get
lousy.
a Grant Nelson type guy this offseason. Last year, the funds weren't there.
And it's
but,
not
you
just
know.
because they're like of similar skin tone. Like it's easy to make that comparison, but like if you watch their games, it's so similar. The Pryor dude's nice.
Grant
man.
Nelson
Yeah.
was an athlete, man. Like for his size and everything, like he was moving.
Yeah.
You know?
This kid seems like, and it's just like from the college basketball scouting tape I've watched on him, but he's Grant Nelson, who's a little bit more comfortable putting the ball on the floor more than like 3 times at a time.
Yeah, like making a move.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like he'll bring the ball up in transition, and then he'll see the guy who's too big to guard him in front of him, and then he'll get on his horse and drive right by him, try to get to the rim. He's
he's a nice player. That's a name maybe to know.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like I don't know, I wish it was Kayshawn. That kind of sounds cooler.
I thought it was.
Kayshawn. Kaysen
I
Pryor.
think
Case
he's,
and Keenum.
Kaysen.
His screen name on Twitter is his actual name and then the pronunciation beside it. So
yeah.
Well, that's helpful.
I was wondering why you were so confident about
good
that.
on him.
Yeah.
Razorback fan, I'll buy you one. How about
Yeah.
that? Who's buying? I'll buy you one. How about that? Let's do that. But yeah, a lot of people are just this guy's over here was like, we want bears. It's like, yeah, we got him here. Got him here, rock and roll sushi.
He's got his priorities in check.
Yes.
Yeah, counts. Y'all really think we'll really get a couple of decent guys that drop out of the draft? Any idea?
Cal said as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only time
was-
we've ever talked to him.
He was really
said that,
transparent
yeah.
about that. But I mean, you think about some of the bigger fish that they're attached to right now, like Jonell Davis, also testing the draft waters. Jonas Adu, also testing the draft waters. And there are going to be guys here who get their last NIL check this week and then hit the portal and test the draft waters before that May 1st deadline. And Arkansas will be involved with them. So
Yeah,
I didn't mean that to come across in a bad
No,
way,
yeah.
but like Cal
No.
said it, he's
for
going
sure.
after dudes who are like
the only
pro talent.
The only thing that
obviously.
stinks about that this year is the draft is so weak that if
Yeah.
you were a
pretty
good enough
terrible.
college player to
See, that's why I'm
It's hard to
surprised
convince
earlier
any kind of
today
guy.
that you said Nelly Davis wasn't in a mock draft that you were looking at. That's
yeah, Jonathan
crazy to me.
Wasserman at Bleacher Report, he does a really, I mean, he's plugged in. He does a really good job with his mocks. And unless I just completely overlooked it, I did not see John L. Davis in the 2-round mock draft that he did.
How old is John L? Is he a
He's about to be a fifth year.
About to be a fifth
Like,
year.
he's
So
a
yeah, I
COVID
wonder
year
if that's
guy.
just it. Is just like
Maybe
a
he's older.
22-year-old guy. He's like 6'4", doesn't have a long way. Like, I could see he is the perfect epitome of that guy that you target who is maybe not quite good enough to have a lengthy NBA career, but is an overqualified college player.
Yeah.
He's a 20 per game type of dude. I love that guy, man. I would.
Yeah, he's
Curtis, we were sitting in the cubicle one day. Curtis said, "I don't know what I would do if they got John L. Davis."
I'm
And I
freaking
think
out
about that.
now
Like,
that
I
they're
really-
becoming really connected.
You know
to
what I
the
mean? I'm like,
possibility.
I genuinely, that's one that there should be a parade on Dixon
He
if they get
texted
that
me
dude.
over the weekend and was like, I'll cry real tears.
No, seriously. Like,
That's gonna be
I
so sick if they
retweeted
get
a clip from one of our pods from February 7th where I was like, if I had $1 million to give out in NIL, this is who I would give it to.
100%.
And now it might actually be happening. That's electric, man.
Yeah. I was wondering why you retweeted that from a long time ago. Now it all makes sense. But I guess it's funny because every time I think of John L., because isn't somebody in Springdale? Is it
John L. Smith, yeah.
No, not John L. Smith. It's the people that was Harvey and Bernice
Young,
right? And then John L. wasn't his name, or John L. Hunt or something. I
There's a
don't
John
know.
L. Hunt.
John
Or
L. Hunt,
something
yeah.
like that, yeah.
But it's like spelled the same way. I felt like that was just like an old farmer's name, But yeah, now apparently it's a really good basketball player too.
He was hooping, yeah.
Yeah, with that
he had
name.
a great year this year. Like, I'm looking at
Yeah.
his number. He shot 41% from deep, but his team also went from a Final Four run to getting bounced in the first round. So I guess people aren't looking at him the exact same. The kid can freaking play, man.
Yeah.
Really can.
Yeah, they could use a lot of those players too. Folks, reminder that we're here at Rock and Roll Sushi, but I also got to tell you about our friends over at Superior Contracting and Development. And you can contact them today right here in the Central Arkansas area, but they service all four corners of the state of Arkansas, licensed residential and commercial contractors specializing in all aspects of home building and remodeling. And they handle everything from fencing and drainage additions to the remodeling of your existing structure, all the way to land development, ground up construction, and everything. So call them today for your interior and exterior construction and remodeling needs. It's getting nice outside. Don't buy a new house. The rates are too high. Go ahead and just work on your old house. Build you a pool, for crying out loud. They can probably help you out. The weather's going to be nice enough to do it. And that's what they do. So call them today at 501-453-3053. That's 501-453-3053. You can also visit their website at superiorarc.com. That's superiorark.com. But no matter what it is when it comes to interior construction and exterior construction needs, do it with Superior Contracting Development based out of Alonia here in Arkansas. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Chris Alley of Rock and Roll Sushi. He's going to tell us about all the great stuff they have going on here. And we'll get to more of your messages and phone calls and have a lot more fun here on the John Nabors Show, live from Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway, 975 South Amity Road. Come out and see us. We'll be out there 6 o'clock, but we'll have more coming up next.
We're not done yet either. So don't be satisfied. We're not done.
Hey John, Bob Pope, Arkansas Democrats. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric,
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you today. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
It's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
And I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
I'm so excited.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the NBC.
Is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put it back in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Nabors Show is live from the Natty States Sports Studios.
All right, welcome back into the John Nabors Show here live from Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway, Arkansas, as we're having the best of times hanging out here, getting you ready for the great week that is beautiful weather. And since we're here at Rock and Roll Sushi, it only makes sense for us to have our guy, Chris Alley from Rock and Roll Sushi. What's up, man?
How are you?
Dude, I'm doing great, actually.
Thanks for being here, man. We appreciate it.
Dude, thanks for having us. Because we know that we go way back. We're back in my days on 103.7 The Buzz, the fun and games station here
When you
in
were
Arkansas.
just a young pup?
Yeah, when I was such a young and stupid child until the once, actually not once all the time, but the great and wise Justin Acree, grew me up into being the success that you see before
I'm
you.
surprised
Obviously.
you turned out as well as you have.
Yeah, that's what I get. I get that a lot apparently, but yeah, man, it's great to be back here in Central Arkansas and for the weather, and of course we really appreciate you having us out here at Rock and Roll Sushi, which not just this location in Central Arkansas and Conway. That's where we're here today, but you got locations all over the Central Arkansas area, and it's just continuing to grow and blow up here, man.
It's been crazy growth the last 2 or 3 years. We just opened one in your neck of the woods up in Fayetteville.
That's right.
On Martin Luther King. So that one's off to the races. And then we have 5 locations in Central Arkansas from Conway all the way down to Benton and everything in between. So,
yeah, I mean, because here I'm going to ask you this, and I'll ask honestly.
Yeah.
It's blowing up. Why is that? Like, why is it that Rock and Roll Sushi, because, there's sushi places, there's other places, but why is it this place is what's made it successful and blowing up?
Yeah, so me. First.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, I was going to say, but
what Rock and Roll Sushi, what the brand has done, which is really genius, is they made sushi approachable to Americans, which it was always intimidating. But they Americanized it. They made it approachable. They paired it with great rock and roll music videos, great drinks, and people feel comfortable coming here. And I think it just opened up to, the general American public. They don't feel intimidated by it.
Yeah, because I was actually laughing with the guys when we went to the location in Fayetteville and was showing it out there. It's like, I mean, I have gotten guilted so many times because I don't use chopsticks.
Oh yeah,
and it's
we don't
like,
care.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like where it's like you have a fork and a chopstick for all of you, but there's people that are just like, if you're not eating sushi, if you're not eating with a chopstick, I'm like, is it good? Yeah. And do I want to eat it? Then yes. Don't worry
Use
about
your hands
my
around here, man. We don't, dude. We're good,
dude. Because I know with we're gonna have some of the great things that you have coming on. I'm always been a VIP roll guy.
I know that's your go-to.
I mean,
it's also our top seller. So
which it's because that's the thing is like it's loaded and you get so much of it.
So much flavor,
so much food. It's one of those things where I could get one myself, but it's going to take a lot.
Yeah,
I know for me to eat it all. But yeah, it's phenomenal, and then to be able to
start to wheel some food out over here, buddy.
Oh my gosh,
I see it.
Yeah, we're gonna be eating good today. Yeah, I'd say they got off the air over here. We got the right table set up.
Enjoying it.
Yeah, getting the food.
Don't worry, John. There's plenty back there. We'll hook you up.
Okay,
you're not gonna leave hungry, buddy.
Good. That's good. Yeah,
you're not gonna leave hungry.
And that's another thing is like, of course, the food is great, but you also got a full bar that's here set up as well.
Yeah, indoor outdoor bar here at Conway location. Music. Oh, look at there.
Oh, look at that. Good
jalapeno popper.
I also love these.
Yeah, those are phenomenal.
I remember you'd bring these to the Buzz.
Yeah.
And these would be one of the first things to go.
Good things on the menu that people don't really realize. But yeah, the wontons, the jalapeno poppers, all that's hand stuffed, hand breaded in house.
Yeah, because it's jalapeno and
jalapeno, crab stick, cream cheese.
Oh,
yeah, a little bit of onion.
Oh, see, that's just amazing. Yeah, like I said, it's everything I've had here has been good because I tried to do different things and. I don't know if it's on here or not, but has there been a new sushi roll that you?
There is the rock lobster roll.
Yep, that one. That was phenomenal.
That's really good. Yeah, so we're rolling lobster in a roll, and they're doing a lot of cool things with the flavor profiles, and and we're just trying to keep being innovative, and just trying to bring people different kinds of sushi that they haven't seen before.
So I know you're also a big Razorback fan.
I love the Hogs.
Love following the Hogs,
yes,
man.
Sir.
We were talking before the show started just how crazy it's been for everything, and when I left the Buzz just a few months ago, I remember telling you, like, you know what? Here's the thing, though, Chris. Here in a few months, Eric Musselman's going to leave, and John Calipari is going to be the next head coach.
Absolutely called it. In the stairwell at the bus stations. Yeah, I remember it.
Called my shot. But no, but like, how crazy is that, though? I know we get everyone's reactions, but just like, how crazy is that?
It was unbelievable. I as soon as I saw the tweet come across from Wes Moore, I texted him. I was like, is this real?
Yeah.
And he was like, yes, it is. So. I still don't really believe that he's our coach. like, what are we, 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks into it? And I still
12 days, I think is what Scotty said
I'm
officially.
struggling to
12
like
days.
still not see him in Kentucky blue, and it's still an adjustment for me.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to
Yeah,
it. Like, it's always been like in stages. Like, hearing it has been like, oh, geez. And then, like, slow true, seeing him in the press conference, seeing them in person. When I see him, like, actually on the court coaching, that's when I'm going to be like, this is
Or walking around
craziness.
campus or something, it's going to be weird.
Just hanging out, like just a regular guy going to the grocery store, something like that. That would be crazy to think. But it's just been really fun times because the basketball season obviously didn't go according to anyone's plan. But it's hard to imagine a bigger rock star hire and a bigger impact than what this has been. So.
If they would have said at the beginning of the season, do you take a 14 and 15 season, but you get Calipari at the end, or do you go to the Sweet 16? What do you take?
Yeah, I mean, at least people would think about it. They think about it. Because it's like, and I love Muss. I think everybody had an appreciation for Muss.
Absolutely.
It's like, I feel like Muss is just a forgotten thought because of Calipari and the impact that he's had.
Muss did great things here, and I root him. I wish him all the success at USC for sure. I don't have any bad feelings toward Muss at all. I think he did great things here. And he put us back in a position to be able to get a coach like John Calipari.
100%.
100%. So, there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah. So you're also from the Central Arkansas area.
Little Rock, born and raised. West Little Rock, buddy. Shackford Road.
There you go. Out in the good place over there that's been growing too and getting, because which high school did you go to?
I went to Parkview.
You're Parkview.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a Parkview Patriot.
Okay. So, I know that this has kind of been the thing that has been happening since I remember living here, and when COVID hit, it kind of changed a lot of things.
Yeah.
But just the outward growth of everywhere here in the community, like Conway is one of those cities we were talking about how just it's blowing up. And
you saw the construction, everything going around you when it came in here. I mean, it's just nonstop growth out here.
Yeah, and you said, and you also mentioned the. I guess you guys are going to be having a new locations, more open up soon. Here
So Cabot is on our radar. We're actively looking in Cabot right now for some good land, and then Hot Springs is also on our radar. So we're just, wherever the real estate kind of takes us is where we'll go. That was like Fayetteville. The real estate was there.
Yeah.
So we jumped on it, and that's kind of been our motto. Is just if it works for us, we'll figure it out.
Well, it's working for y'all, that's for sure. You guys are doing great things, and again, we really appreciate you having us out here to your Conway location, man. It's gonna have some great food, so that's I'm gonna make sure to take a break so that way I can eat some of this great food too. Do
Thanks
that.
for being
So
here, buddy.
absolutely. It's Chris Alley of Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway. Come out and see us, folks. We're gonna be out here for at least another hour and a half or so. We'll probably keep the party going here, though. But either way, we'll try to make sure that we're accommodating and getting it done. But either way, we appreciate it. Come see us, folks, and we'll have more of the John Nabors Show coming up next. Stay with us.
We not done yet either. So don't be satisfied. We not done.
Hey John, Bob Poth, Arkansas Democrats. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric,
why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you today. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That's why Arkansas is fantastic. Yes, sir.
And I I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh,
Brother, this guy stinks.
you guys act like it's. Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
I'm so excited.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the NPC.
1,843 miles away, but the call
Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco. Let's take my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put it back in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Nabors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
Yeah, well, welcome back into the John Nabors Show here live from Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway. Just ran into Layden Blocker's uncle, and no big deal. Just hanging
Blocker,
out.
friend of the program.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He hasn't decided where he's going to be taking his talents yet.
Not yet, no.
Maybe we get a scoop.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe we could.
I'll be back.
Let's say
It'll only take 3 beers to get that answer out, you know?
It's like if only we had some Big J journalists here to get those scoops and let
Got that
everybody
little,
know about it.
got my recorder.
Mhm.
Hey, you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, and then you can say that you've been reporting it for weeks, and then it all works out. Then but
As I've been saying for
as
weeks.
I've been saying for weeks, because we knew about it here at Rock and Roll
Dude,
Sushi.
no, wherever Layden Blocker commits, I'm going to quote tweet it with, as I've been saying for weeks.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what the move is for people like that in the Big J journalism school of hard knocks. But still, we've here at Rock and Roll Sushi, we've gotten some food in front of us.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Had some of the
VIP roll.
The VIP roll, yes. The VIP
I'm glad y'all haven't seen me eat anything off camera. It's been
The VIP roll is crazy.
Dude, I was sitting there holding a popper in my hand, just waiting. I'm like, I got to hit this break, man. So I'm like, I don't think anyone wants to hear me crunching on the microphone.
I didn't even
Guess
think
could
about that. That's
I guess
my
I could
bad.
always mute it and just let everybody else do the talking. But I mean, folks, look at this thing. Like, look at this right here. I'm sure you can get it. Was a huge roll, but
yeah,
some people decided to dive in.
Yeah,
but this is the VIP roll. I mean, this is my favorite thing. You can't go wrong with this. It's got everything on. It's like the works. It's like a supreme pizza of sushi.
It's the real deal.
Yeah, so we got some of that going on here, and also we got, as Chris Alley mentioned, got the poppers, got the wontons, got the egg roll there too. So yeah, I mean, listen, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And Andrew, you ordered. What'd you order?
I ordered a hibachi steak plate.
Dude,
I'm excited for that.
It's gonna be awesome. And because that's how you know it's good when they ask you how do you want your steak cooked in the
Yeah.
hibachi. Like some people
I know,
just be
man.
like, "I throw it in there." It's like, no,
I might.
Yep,
pretty good.
You can take a look
Doesn't
at
make
mine
sense.
whenever it gets here, and you can make a decision. But now,
I'm about
ready.
to get one of these for myself.
I'm gonna try a different roll later. I think.
Really?
I
This
get the
thing-
VIP roll every time, and I've been to the one in Fayetteville since they opened like 6 times now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just do something different here.
Yeah, mix it up for the
This
sake of
has
the variety.
jalapenos, crawfish.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
And it's
That's
sushi.
all I
For
need.
those of you snobs out there who don't pick up what sushi's putting down, listen to what Scotty just said. It's fried. There's jalapenos
good,
and there's
man.
crawfish.
hey, by the way, for anyone wondering, Rock and Roll Sushi, they're jamming here.
That's right.
That's for the rock. You know, I'll tell you what roll I'm getting, Curtis. I'm getting the Rock and Roll.
Hey,
They've been playing some bangers here
This
tonight.
place will have your foot tapping.
but
This is a big foot tap
Well, let's say
organization.
if you call yourself Rock and Roll Sushi and you don't play rock and roll
Rock and
music,
roll,
then
yeah.
what are we doing here? Like you're failing at it. Because this is not that anybody can hear it on the air right now, but I believe this is what
Incubus, yes, he's
Incubus.
right.
Thank you.
They
I should have
flashed it
known
up
that.
there, like the bottom left over there.
Dude, I feel like I'm watching TRL back in the day again. You know, like the music video Wake Up on MTV because it comes up with the artist's name and their album.
you're showing our age.
Yeah, well, hey, that's fine. As if anybody had any doubts on it. So
Oh, they were playing Lifehouse in here.
Dude, they were
The
playing
Killers.
that.
Yeah.
I'm falling even more in love with you. They were playing that.
Dude, remember when the stages of rock had, like, everyone had the in the beginning? It was like the Strokes, the Hives. Everybody was doing that. I'm glad that went
We don't
away.
remember it because I wasn't born, but
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I've
you're-
learned about it in the textbooks.
Yeah. Hey, listen, kids, your generation, your age, thinking Drake's the greatest thing of all time.
Are
It's like,
textbooks
come
still
on,
a
man.
thing?
Drake is, by the way,
What's
Drake
that?
is the male
Textbooks.
Taylor Swift.
Your kids
I
have
believe-
I
textbooks.
came to that realization yesterday.
They don't bring them home
Yeah.
if they do.
They have like iPads at school, or
I think they have like Chromebooks.
okay.
They gotta keep them at school.
Yeah, I gotcha.
That's probably should have worked out. I got Saturday school for putting a contraceptive in a textbook. Apparently that was frowned upon. I'm gonna guess that.
Dude, you
Why-
were a
why did
wild.
you do that?
You were wild at
I just
school.
did stupid things.
Back
Like, that
in
was the
grade
thing.
school, John Nabors was going
Wild
nuts,
behavior.
Yeah. It was just like, this is here. Why
Pretty
not?
bad.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how I got caught either. It's almost like the book had my name in it or something.
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't want kids. I
I
don't want
forgot
kids.
about that. Yeah, you had to write your name.
Yeah,
in
write
the
your
front
name
of
in
it
it.
and
Yeah.
the school year and all that.
You know, not everybody has a life made out for crime. I don't think everybody can do that. So, hey, we got go to the phone lines here.
Yes.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's get it with Trey, who is in Harrison. What's going on, Trey?
Hey, John. I've got a question for Curtis, and Ellis, and a little thing for Scotty.
All right.
Scotty, you're the GOAT. Don't forget that one. And also, Curtis and Ellis, when are we going to get the Natty State six-pack? I'm waiting for that. That's what I listen to whenever I do my homework, man. I need that.
Yeah. Well, just in case you guys are here,
I couldn't.
That's fine. Appreciate your phone call, Trey. He's got a little thing for all three of you besides me. That's fine. Scotty, he said you're the GOAT.
I'm what?
You're the GOAT.
Absolutely.
No
I don't know
disrespect.
about that one.
And then for you two, he's like, when is the Natty State six-pack going to get rolling again? Because that used to be something you listen to all the time.
When portal season calms down, like we need basketball to go ahead and get some scholarship pieces in there.
Yeah.
But no, it is kind of it sucks that UFC 300 happened and we didn't do an episode. But
I know. Well, and
we will
Ryan
be back.
Garcia and-
Yeah, don't
yeah.
worry. Hey, but this summer we're gonna be cranking that out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's mostly my fault. Just like a coaching search and then portal season.
Yeah, being
and I've
good at
been
your
like,
job.
listen, man, I can't.
We really did not expect the Eric Musselman to. I mean, we did not expect it, but there's just a lot going on. But no, we're gonna be back.
I have not been up on my pop culture
I know.
things. So
I feel like such an idiot because like I'll text Curtis about stupid stuff that's going on in the world, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, sorry, I was following Jaden acquaintances or whatever." Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
it's on me, but it's coming for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
We're excited to get it rolling. And honestly, like things I think will eventually simmer down a little bit, and
Man.
then people might be interested in something other than Arkansas
Right.
basketball
You need to
rosters.
That's
take a
another
break,
problem.
dude.
That's another problem, Trey, is that people confuse. People weren't really understanding what we were doing with the six pack. There were a lot of people who were like, I came here for sports. It's like, okay.
Came to the wrong
But
place.
thank you, because we really enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
It's
It's good stuff.
1,000%
It's
coming
good.
back.
It's good that we're starting to have some people come out and be like, hey, I actually like that. We have like a little, little contingency
it's
there.
kind of
that-
being viewed as a cult classic right
exactly.
now.
It's like
And I am taking a break. In a few weeks, I'm taking a long weekend to
Canadian one.
Canada.
But you're also taking your podcasting equipment.
If they'll
That's-
let me.
yeah.
It's happening.
No, you're not allowed to. You
We'll
have
go,
to go and
we'll go
enjoy
live from
yourself.
Toronto.
Curtis low key like got some Canadian in him. I feel like I feel like he's got some. He drinks a lot and he's really polite.
That's all it takes to be Canadian. Just you drink a lot and be polite, and then
Drink a lot and be polite. Yeah, you got some Canadian, bro. You're gonna like it up there.
I might not come back.
he loves syrup. Just like random
big
things like
syrup
that.
guy.
Yeah, it's like
Is this how we're going to turn into Norlander and Parrish? I'm just going to be in Arkansas.
Oh,
You'll be
gosh.
across the border.
Probably
and
so.
We'll just do a podcast together, but never in the same place.
Yeah.
so. Hopefully, Trey, that
It's a
answered
tough
your
way to
long
find
question.
Yeah, hope that suffices.
Six pack's coming back.
It is
Absolutely,
coming back.
yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be
Thank
back.
you.
And keep telling your friends that we're cool. They'll appreciate. We need more people on board.
Hey, little thing on that. My friends don't like sports, so, and they also don't listen to anything that I tell them to. So, but I will tell them you're cool, and also, John, you're awesome. Also, Scotty, don't sell yourself short, man. You're the GOAT.
Appreciate that, Trey. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening in. So to
I
relay
didn't-
the
I didn't
message,
hear what he said.
I know we'll have to relay the message. By the way, folks, we got headsets coming in for all of us tomorrow, so that way everybody will be able to hear.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Amazon. Anyways, he said, "Don't sell yourself short. You are the GOAT." He said to me, "I'm cool too."
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of like thrown in there. And then he also said how he's excited about the six pack to come back.
There we
and
go.
everything. I think that's what he said.
You're
Actually,
cool,
I
you're
forgot what
cool
the
by
last one.
association, which honestly is kind of perfect with this whole thing that we're going on here. I try to take credit for all of y'all's success. Anybody that likes John, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll work with John.
Right.
People that like the pot at the palace, oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But,
John's really come a long way since
Yeah.
since we joined him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I'm starting to
And
actually get people to know who I am.
I'm taking credit for your baseball podcast, especially the title.
Yeah, I thought everybody that has a negative thing to say about my podcast, just tweet it at Scotty because he's who you should be directing it at. He is responsible for everything that involves the Bombastic Podcast. It's all him. So
Yeah.
direct your complaints towards Scotty Bordelon on Twitter.
Yeah.
So
Please.
I have a
Stolen
story.
valor.
I've only told about half of it. But I have a group of friends who, and I'm from the other side of the state, Eastern Arkansas. And so I told everybody that we were doing this, and it's like a group text that, like, we have a group text, but it's the same deal. It's like 4 or 5 of my real good buddies. And one of them texted me. I sent the flyer that we had going around. I was like, hey, like, I know you guys work or whatever, but come out and see us. And I actually think some of that's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But I had one who, like, forget me, but was like, oh, John Nabors is going to be there. I'll come on out. And then I text you guys about it because I was trying to inflate John's ego a little bit.
Yeah, because that's
But then
needed.
I had another one in the group that said, man, F John Nabors.
Yeah.
That sums up my entire career right
if
there.
anybody is listening right now, that's what you should pitch to your friends. Look, there's 4 of these guys. You'll like one of them.
Yes.
One of them,
At
you're
least.
probably not going to be. You're bound to like one of them. You know what I mean? You know, you'll find one of them that you like.
Yeah, I was waiting on like the guy to like come in here and just like threaten to kill me or something like that. Like, I mean, because here's the thing: is like I tell people, it's like you don't have to like me, but I was like,
But you must respect me.
Yeah,
That's
like,
kind of like what you were saying with your baseball pod the other day. You were getting comments on this clip that you made. It was like you were being too hard on them, and then somebody else said you're being too easy on them. You don't like if somebody doesn't like you, and then somebody else does like you. You're probably hitting a pretty good little middle ground there.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like the weather here in Arkansas. It's just like if you don't like what you're getting today, just wait till tomorrow.
Wait it out. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll probably get some
hey,
more there
luckily
too.
we are right now. It is great with the weather.
Yeah. Some people.
We got intern Will getting shout outs in the comments. What are we doing?
Dude, he's everywhere. That guy is literally everywhere.
I saw him on TV at the baseball game. I was like, hey, that's Will. I know that guy.
Yeah. Like I've always just wondered, like, where he has sources, I guess, or sauces.
Well,
but,
all of them are college students, so they all have somewhat, like, Parker was giving us the scoops on his classmates, Bay Fall and Denaje Harris and Keon Minifield.
Dude was giving us somebody was giving us scoops on what kind of students the starting pitching staff
Yeah,
is.
he said Brady Tigers needs to get his grades up a little bit, bro. He was a little concerned.
Dude, it's like, well, speaking of baseball, I guess we can kind of bring that up as a part.
Kind of why we're here.
Yeah, it's like for partially.
Yeah, I'll do
partially,
that.
so,
Me and
yeah.
Curtis are going to go take care of the rest of this.
Scotty, Scotty's
You
a
guys are big
closet
baseball people.
Arkansas baseball guy, like huge Arkansas baseball guy. Dude will text me during all the games, but then publicly he don't want to claim it. This dude's an Arkansas baseball fanatic.
Yeah.
My best bit is the returns on the TrackMan home runs.
Yeah, no, that's. By the way, I'm just going to verbally explain this meme.
God, okay.
Scotty's been doing this thing.
It's only a text message thing for now.
So
with
you know how
guys.
they'll tweet out the graphics of like when someone hits a home run over 400 feet, they'll be like, "Oh, Nolan Sousa." It'll be like the feet, the launch angle, and the exit velo or whatever. Scotty will clip that and take the little screenshot and be like, "This is how hard I'm about to hit the Busch Lights tonight." It'll just be that. And so now, anytime he just sends a graphic that has like a hard hit ball, like I know exactly what he's referencing. It's great.
Doesn't make sense.
It makes
pretty
sense.
good.
That's how hard he's hit the. But yeah, I like it. I like it. 416 was that one? Yeah.
Yeah, there was
good
one.
stuff.
I think it's the one on Saturday was like 468, like 108
Yeah.
off the bat. It was a
Nolan Sousa is responsible for all of Scotty's content, honestly, because he's the one who has all of them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hope y'all.
I spent like 20 minutes going through that player development page. just
That player
collecting them.
development page pushes them out.
Yeah. At least they won over the weekend.
did
It
win.
was not pretty at times. I hate those doubleheaders on Saturday. I always feel like those have gone against Arkansas almost every single time. But this time it wasn't. And, they got to find ways to score. I think that's
They
a good
do.
thing. Game 3 was better, though.
This week was the most Arkansas baseball week of all time because we spent half the week complaining about, oh man, this team's just not scoring. I don't know. And then Tuesday was weird. They end up winning both games against Texas Tech. And none of the games either, like at any point did we feel super confident. Was everybody like, oh, this is going great? But they end up winning both those games. They go to South Carolina. They win game 1 just because of Hagen Smith and Gabe Gackle, which, like, we're not above doing that here at the University of
not at all.
Arkansas. They lose game 2, and everyone's convinced they're toast, and they're about to downward spiral. And then they get the bats going for about 2 innings there in game 3, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, they went 4-1 on the week. And,
Can't complain too much about it.
Went on the road and won 2 out of 3 against the top 20 team, but none of us, like, at any point felt confident about it. I think it was a perfect encapsulation of just Arkansas baseball. That's what it is.
Yep. Where they
And,
frustrate you one game, but then they win and kind of fix the problems in the other game, and then everything's fine because you won the series at the end of the day.
Yeah, people keep saying they're not going to get away with hitting like this because, the pitching staff can't bail them out every time. We'll see. I think they can bail them out a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they can.
They've
too,
done it
'cause
like
they're doing
34 out of 39 games or whatever it is.
Keep
Like I
doing
feel like they can keep doing it.
Yep, they keep doing it. So you guys have something.
You would have
going on
thought
or-
they went worse than 4-1.
Who
last
committed
week.
somewhere, by the way?
Tyrese Hunter committed to Memphis.
Ah.
Ooh.
Another one off the board.
Where's he from?
Texas.
Ah, got it. So it's Tremont Martin replaced him in Texas, right? Totally.
Something like that.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah. Hey, it's
We want
free
the other
agency, man.
Texas guy.
It's free agency. There's plenty of it.
I just
going
want
on.
a guy.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah.
Mm.
Doesn't
Kurt-
make sense.
Counts wants to know, hey, do y'all expect Knox to leave Fayetteville committed?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
Expect him to do
What's
something.
funny about that, and like Counts, appreciate you. You've been killing it in the chat today. But like the situation is literally playing out as we speak. Like he's on his visit.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, like, we want to know everything, but it's like, who the hell knows? They could be having a very awkward moment right now. They could be having the best moment of all time. Like, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out.
It's semantics at this point. Get yours.
All semantics. Well, we'll let you know, though. Like, trust me.
Curtis could
These
be over
guys
here
on
like,
top
oh,
of it.
Carter Knox, he bleeds Razorback red, and Carter Knox is being rubbed the wrong way because Cal said a slur at the dinner table, and then here, that's just how these things play out.
Yeah, he's all hog. He's all hog. He's got the heart of a hog, and yeah, something went
Or
wrong.
Cal's currently, you think Cal's playing the stuff of just John Wall and Boogie Cousins and all that?
Oh, I'm sure.
He's already done that. He already recruited the kid once.
Yeah.
He either wants to come to Arkansas or he doesn't. Like, let's get
all
this
the
show
stuff
on the
I
road.
told you 3 months ago, it applies now.
Yeah.
Pull up.
Yep. At the end, it's a cop coming over here too. It's not hopefully not for
You
us.
think he's taking it? How do you think they? How
two
much
of 'em.
steak do you think they got at Doe's tonight?
Oh man, all the steaks. They probably ran out. Ran out of the steaks.
Why is it Doe's?
I don't know. I heard that they took Paul Skeens to Doe's.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
ever
that's the
since
baseball
then,
thing. Yeah.
But that's so funny to me.
Did they
is
get
a
it?
baseball thing
Yeah.
more. But it's just so funny to me that they were like, we got one night with this kid. We got to go to Doe's.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's the most Arkansas thing of all time.
Cal very much strikes me as, I know he goes to Herman's, but he's taking dudes to like Theo's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
Theo's,
definitely not going.
Atlas, Bordino's.
He's definitely not going to the place that the football coaches take. We don't say the names of businesses around here because we don't no free ads.
But didn't I feel like I remember during when Hunter Dickinson was doing his recruitment and he was on like the Barstool podcast, whatever it was, and he was giving all the details, and he was talking about when Coach Cal took him out to dinner on his Kentucky visit that they went to this fancy steakhouse, but Cal was eating chicken fingers.
Dude, that is so funny, man.
So,
Dude, I could not love John Calipari more, man.
he's the man.
I'm about to say, if you're doing that, you're pulling that off, and you're still getting big time recruits.
Yeah.
I mean,
He got
what
a
else can you
steak
do?
and was putting rooster sauce on it.
Right.
John Calipari is so cool. I was talking to my aunt the other day who is, the most negative person in the world.
Yeah.
But even she was like, "Oh, I always knew Calipari was the man. I love this guy forever. I didn't even have to. You didn't even have to talk to me, and I always loved him. Love that.
That's a hot take. Hot take if you're loving that guy and what he's done. But yeah, see if we got any chats before we take another break here. See if who's
No, I wouldn't
chiming in here.
never mind.
Yeah. I do that all the time, Scotty, because I always want to say something. That
We
I
might
catch
have to
myself.
start. We might have to start going at the place that is downstairs on our building that we went to lunch a
Yeah.
few times here recently. We might have to start going there. Maybe that's where they're taking these recruits.
Seems like a high.
Seems like a spot.
Yeah, a spot to pull up on to have. So, all right. Well, I'm going to talk a little basketball too with Monty Patel, who is here in person.
Stay tuned for that. Ball knower.
Yeah, he is truly a ball knower, and he's the man who runs the TPT for Arkansas.
Friends
So,
with a lot of cool people.
That's
I would
right.
argue.
Like
That's right.
Debo.
That's right.
Yeah, very close to Debo.
Yep, that's number one on the list, power rankings of the people that he's cool with. So,
We got a lot of Arkansas basketball royalty in the house here
that's
at
what
Rock
we do.
and
This
Roll
is what we
Sushi.
do at Rock and Roll Sushi is having that. But yeah, folks, come
All
out
the cool
see us.
kids are here.
Yeah, hey, man, it's the cool places because we got great sushi, we got great apps, we got great food. You need to hit up your hibachi, Andrew, because I think
know.
it's ready. So you're about to chow down into that. We'll continue talking about ball, but we're out here at the Conway location of Rock and Roll Sushi at 975 South Amity Road here in Conway. So stay with us. More of the John Nabors Show coming up next.
Oh, we not done yet either. So don't be satisfied. We not done.
Hey, John, Bob Poth, Arkansas Democrat. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric,
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you today. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
It's fantastic. Yes, sir.
You know, and I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh,
Brother, this guy stinks.
you guys act like it's. Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
I'm so excited.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
It's 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco. Let's take my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put it back in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Nabors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
Welcome back into the John Nabors Show as we are live broadcasting from, thank you, Michael Starkey, a good friend of mine who has bestowed upon a draft brewski, as it's much appreciated as we've been talking a lot of basketball here at the Rock and Roll Sushi in Conway. Went out and see us. We already got people filing in and people who are huge fans of ours, obviously, and love the stuff that we're doing and hanging out. But we also, with basketball going on, we got to talk a lot more about it because we got a friend of the program. I don't call you a friend, even though I don't think you've officially been on the show.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, but we got Monty Patel with us of Arkansas TVT. What's up, Monty?
Man, hanging out. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, well, it's great to have you out. And I know we were talking a little bit earlier today, and I was like, man, I got to hit up Monty and see what he's got going on because I know you're in the Central Arkansas area. But, I mean, you or somebody who's been in the know of high school basketball and dealing with a lot of kids that are in college basketball, of course, Arkansas TBT. But have you seen anything like you would have imagined with this Calipari stuff since he's taken over 12 days ago at Arkansas?
The day it happened, it was wild. And I told just like some close friends about like, hey, this might actually be happening like for us. And one of them actually said he will tattoo a crow on him anywhere he is, anywhere we wanted, if it happened. And now we have a plan for him to get a crow tattoo on his bottom side.
Oh, wow.
So we're very, very excited about that. But when it all went down that day, just how many text messages come in and out, you're trying to find out how accurate it is. You know, I heard it late that Friday night, Saturday morning around. Can't remember exactly, but being in Phoenix at the Final Four, when you hear that stuff, you're just like, there's no way.
Right.
There's just not. That's impossible for us because, I mean, heck, we had a coach come here one time, call the Hogs very poorly, and then leave. So
who was that? I don't remember that.
I don't remember his name. Try not to.
Ring a bell.
Try not to.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's the chaotic thing is I know when you said that you heard on Friday of just some immediate reactions, like there's just no way. And then here we are, like it's legitimate. And I know Muss was a guy that you had, friendships with and relationships with, but it's almost like, hey, he goes to USC and he's forgotten almost. It's almost like, oh, you got Cal, so that's all that matters right now. It's like you got Cal and it's great.
It happened very, very quick that everyone's like, oh, who's Muss? And I'm like, the guy that went to the Elite Eight twice, went to the Sweet 16, and we're like, no, we got John Calipari. That quickly, and how quickly our minds can just change is incredible.
Yeah, because I had to delete a lot of tweets. To be honest about it, I had to delete a lot there, man. So, but what do you make of just him and the impact? I don't think that people really truly can grasp the impact, like culturally, socially, like everything about getting a coach like John Calipari. Like that just changes the game completely.
I would love to see a report of how much money has been brought into Fayetteville the last 3 years, 5 years of Muss's tenure, and then what happens in year one of Cal, and how many people are actually going to show up to games, pay more tickets, how much the surge on the prices will be, and then what kind of product we put out. I mean, heck, our NIL budget is incredible right now. Top of the top, I was told we're pretty close to what Duke is. If not, we're going to be right past it if it just keeps going, and that's just what was promised on the front end of the deal.
Yeah.
So just what kind of team can we buy? Because that's what this has turned into, is who can you pay the most money to get over here that also fits into what you want to do. Because if you're only coming for the money, chances are you may not be as successful because you're defeated mentally that, hey, you're already paid. But trying to figure out, the right guys that can handle that kind of money that will potentially go to the NBA.
Yeah, and so when you're talking about guys that you've dealt with, and like, what has been the impact for some of the reactions of people and what they've had?
I mean, the reaction has been great. They're hoping that we still get Arkansas kids, but I think this has changed now. I mean, we are a state very prideful of the in-state guys that we have, but we don't have 4 NBA guys every single year. So there's going to be guys that Cal goes and gets that aren't from here that we're going to have to love on, like we did in Anthony Black and a Jordan Walsh. But at the same time, it's what high school kids can we get to still say, hey, we are Arkansas's team, and to have that pride of what we have in the state. Because, we're very, very prideful blue-collar state. And now it's like, well, a lot of Arkansas kids that could have came that were a 4-star may not even get looked at because we're going for 5s only.
Yeah, well, see, and I think that's another crazy thing. And we talked about this with Curtis and Scotty and all them. Of like, we talk about transfer portal guys, must be contacting 60 guys. And it's almost like now you're at the point with Calipari. It's like, no, just the guys he wants is the only ones he's going after. And I'm not saying he's just like this, but he can approach it and just being like, hey, here's your offer. You just take it or leave it. Because he's that level of a coach where it's like, I got other guys. If you don't want it, I'm going to go out and get other guys that are just as good, if not better than you. So if I give you an offer, you better take it, or I'm just going to move on to something better.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, just the way Coach Musselman operated was he usually got guys. If you think about an allowance on a weekly basis, and you got your allowance on Sunday, he probably picked up someone Monday, Tuesday. But Cal's waiting till 2 weeks, saving his allowance and trying to see who he really, really wants, without running out of his bankroll.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what it is. Although it might be in a very, very high bankroll that can't run out. We'll see what happens with that. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you got to be very, very smart with this money on who you're getting. I mean, it was reported we lost a kid, can't remember his name, for $1.2 million. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure we had that, but was he worth that percentage of the pie for you?
I see. That's what I don't think people understand. Like when you throw out these numbers that we hear about, and whether it's recruiting or transfer portal and stuff, for NIL, it's like, this kid was getting offered this much. And then I think it was even today that I forgot the player that Arkansas was after, the number 8 recruit in a high school that was committed to Kentucky.
Was it the chicken guy?
No, it wasn't chicken. That was Carter Knox. But it was one of the guy's dad who just came out. He's like, somebody reported, like, he got offered all this. And he was just like, yeah, that's not true at all. So it's like, no one really knows what's true, what's not, how much they get offered, how much they don't. Well, it's all up in the air.
The coaches can't even legally talk about it with the players, right? So the coach can't say, hey, I'm giving you this. They have to go to the collective. So there's so many middlemen that go through this that the offer could be fake that the kid is saying he got. Because some kids will say, hey, well, so-and-so school offered me $1 million, and they might have only offered him $500,000, and he's trying to get his money up. Then you also have NIL agents in the game now that can say, hey, well, this kid is the next LeBron James, and you need to offer him $2 million. But in his mind, he's got 10 guys in his portfolio that are all the next LeBron James. And so you're really trying to navigate what the truth is and what's really fake, and, who's worth what money to you out of your budget.
Yeah, well, I know you've been involved with the TBT here at Arkansas, and that's going to start getting revved up a little bit. But how is it going to be heading into this year, and what's kind of the expectation you have right now?
I mean, the expectation always is to try to figure out a way to win it, try to find guys with the least limitations on the court, try to find guys that really like each other, because you've got 3 days, 4 days of a training camp that you can essentially afford to have. You go out and play, and it's a one-and-done tournament. If guys are beefing on the court, it's going to go down very, very quickly. We saw that happen. One of the teams up north, I won't call them out specifically, but they had a player on the court that they were in a situation where at the end of the game they needed a play drawn up, and the coach didn't drop a play for him, and he said, hey, man, if you're not drawing up the play for me, then I'm not staying. And he didn't drop the play for him. They won the game, and that player left the next day.
Wow.
So you really, really got to find the right character guys. You really, really got to find guys that like each other. And so, like, the guys that we do have committed to us right now, I'll shoot them a text and ask them, hey, what do you think of this player? What do you think of this player? What do you think of this player? And if they don't like them and the consensus is no, we try to avoid it to the best of our ability. And we try to figure out more production versus problems.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a lot more problems, let's move on. If it's a lot more limitations, let's move on. If they're asking something crazy, let's move on. So we're always just trying to find the right person for that will represent our name, because it doesn't have to be just an Arkansas player from the University of Arkansas.
Yeah.
To me, Team Arkansas defines the entire state and kids from here. Like, I would love to have a kid that played at Jacksonville High School named Tyree Appleby that was the ACC Player of the Year in the Wake Forest. And just little stuff like that. You try to go find guys that should have been a Razorback, maybe weren't.
That's never
and you try to
happened,
get them
right?
back. Yeah,
That's never happened once. Yeah, never had before. But I know it's awesome to see a lot of the former Razorbacks and just people who are connected be part of the Arkansas TBT. And, it's kind of been building into the point where, people, I think we even talked about it last year. People were like, all right, when is it going to happen to where you can play the game in Fayetteville, which I know is another process and another hurdle that you have to kind of get over to.
Well, so we have tried to get U of A involved, and right now it hasn't happened yet, and I don't think they see the financial aspect. And lucky enough, Coach Cal coming in, he just got La Familia in at Lexington, so they're hosting it at Rupp Arena. Eric Bledsoe's headlining it, and it's crazy of how many guys would headline it if we actually hosted. And so you hope Coach Calipari wants to be a part of that and bring it here to Fayetteville, because you can also take some of that money and turn it into your NIL budget and fund it that way. So TBT wants to host it here. Like, TBT is all on board for it. We wanted to host it here in Little Rock at Simmons Bank Arena. The price tag was a little too high compared to what college venues do for you, where it's more like you get a profit share of the revenue.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just trying to figure out how to do it, like, very creatively. And so now it's just, I feel like there's pressure on me. There's probably not many people care probably near as much as I do, but I'm like, we have to win this year. We have to get further than Sweet 16 to really, really host it here in Fayetteville and make some noise. Because as soon as we host it in Fayetteville, you can get anybody, because you also can pay out of that a lot more money. Wichita is one of the best regions, and they're talking about how much they love their basketball. And I'm like, our first round is what your third round, fourth round games are. You don't understand what Fayetteville is. You don't understand what Barnhill is and Bud Walton is. Like, that's a whole different animal compared to Wichita basketball.
Yeah. And it's like, once you do it, it's like it'll open up the floodgates, because then people will see it, and it'll never be a problem again. It'll never be an option or an obstacle again once people actually see it.
Oh, do it one time and everyone's going to be like, yeah, we have to have this back. The Elam ending is just so different. I had a buddy come to the game that hadn't got to watch it in person, and right when he saw the Elam ending and we were in it, he was like, my heart just started racing, because it's a game winner. You don't have to worry about the clock running out. You can't stall out your possessions. You have to go score the basketball to win. You have to get stops to win. And the exhilaration that comes from that is incredible. I mean, even me, I keep my Apple Watch on. It just tracks my heart monitor during the game, because as soon as it gets Elam, I'm like, deep breath, calm down. What are we running? What is our Elam package that we have? How do we get into it the quickest, aside from transition and trying to get there? Trying to get off ball fouls, because you get a free throw and you get the ball back. And so much strategy goes into it that we talk about amongst our coaching staff. And so I just want it to be there at least a year and then see what the turnout is, because then I just think they're not going to stop.
Right. I mean, it's a cool thing that I think people, especially if they see it in person and knowing what it can be and what it can become, I mean, it's something that continues to grow. You got any players that you can say yet, of like who might be new or maybe some additions to this year's team?
We're bringing back 4 of our core. Of Brandon Wood from Michigan State. He was Draymond Green's roommate through college. Great human being. Arkansas-wise, Hunter Mickelson's back playing in it. Dustin Thomas is back playing in it. Adriel Bailey's back playing in it. We've got a good announcement of someone else coming back to play in it. I don't want to drop that. I don't want his news to spoil, but TBT is going to announce that. I'm very, very happy, because he should have been playing with us, and he was tripping, and I've told him that about 100 times while I've been getting him come back to the good guys. But we're being a lot more slow about our recruiting process. We want the right people involved because of how short of a time frame it is, that guys got to very, very much click immediately. They have 1 to 2 practices to figure out how each other playing the right way, and just sharing and saying, hey, let's play for the name on the front, and all the names on the back will prosper.
Yeah. Well, before I let you get out of here, Monty, which appreciate you hopping on with us here at Rock and Roll Sushi in Conway. Going back to John Calipari. How do you feel like he does here? Like, honestly, because people are all saying, oh, well, Kentucky he only won one tournament game since 2019, and people are ready to get rid of him. But with the amenities and with everything that he's got, like, what's your expectation for him here at Arkansas?
I mean, expectation is such strong word, because here's the thing. A 64-team tournament is very freaking hard, and I've got to do it. And, like, what Muss did going to the Elite Eight twice is very, very hard. You have to have so much luck go your way. And so it's like, yeah, everyone's like, we're a Final Four team no matter what. We have $8 million. But the tournament is just hard in itself. Like, Golke shoots the mess out of the basketball. He's a 26-year-old kid, a 26-year-old grown man.
Yeah.
And everyone's frustrated by it in Kentucky. And we're like, listen, y'all's brand is NBA players, one and done, a big alumni base of NBA guys that you get to watch in the playoffs. Our brand was go get in the portal, go get a couple freshmen that can win, and then see what happens in the tournament and get very, very hot. But, I mean, think about it this way. If Devo doesn't make the shot versus Oral Roberts, we lose.
Yep.
We're now we're out the second round. If Jalen Williams isn't taking 50 charges versus Gonzaga, we are out. And those calls are always 50-50. It could be a block and you're out.
Yeah, because it impacted Chet Holmgren in that game. I mean, it changed everything.
And so, I want to say, hey, I want to be excited. I think he'll win. I think Coach Cal is very smart. I think he knows probably some mistakes he's made, because you learn every year from your mistakes. I hope we go a little bit older, but along with getting those one-and-done guys, because I think our fan base really, really likes having those guys that get to go to the league, and we can say, like, he's going to Arkansas. Nick Smith Jr. and Anthony Black shot the literal mess out of it this year in the NBA, and it's very prideful to say they came from Arkansas, like the U of A. And it doesn't matter to us that Anthony Black's from Dallas.
Nope.
Like, that don't make a difference to me. He came here, he hooped, he loves it, he reps us just as much as Nick Smith Jr. does. And if injury didn't happen to Nick, we're a whole different team, and people don't realize that's also the part that goes into luck. And he battled through as much of an injury to play for us in the tournament, and we ran into a buzzsaw of UConn. I mean, I was at that game.
I was too.
Those dudes, like, Coach is right. Coach Hurley's right. They've got dudes, and they are unbelievable. And to go back-to-back after you're losing 3 guys is very, very hard, and he's done that. So I hope, to answer your question, I hope Coach Cal can get us to a Final Four. I hope we win a national championship.
Be nice.
I hope I'm alive to see that, because all I hear about it is, hey, we won a national championship with Coach Corliss Williamson and Coach Thurman. And I'm like, man, I was 6.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that. I've seen the DVD. Like, that's it. So I hope it happens. I think it will. I think we're going to give him a very long tenure here until this is probably his last job. And so you hope that he's like, I want to go out with a bang. Like, it wouldn't shock me if he won a national championship and retired. Like, and you just knock it out and you say, all right, I'm done. I did it. I proved I can still do it.
Yep. Well, I just keep saying how funny it would be, just because we've had so many run-ins with Kentucky fans, and just being, like, they're glad he's gone and everything. It's like, man, that'd be the greatest thing ever, is to win a national championship in his first year, obviously for that reason, but just to be like, thanks, guys, appreciate it.
And people can do that because now you have a bankroll. You have millions of dollars to fund a team, and there's no salary cap.
Yeah, that, and then the portal where, you can get, like, they don't have a team right now, and then, like, but they have every reason to believe that they're going to have an NBA roster, and they don't even have anybody on the team right now.
I mean, he walked into a perfect spot where he has one guy on roster, and he's like, I can go fill this with whoever I want, and I can build an actual team and get the puzzle pieces fitting, versus trying to kick off 6 guys and say, hey, you go portal, I'll go portal 6 new guys. He's going to go build a team, and it's going to be fun, and we really have to be patient, because you think about this. With Coach Muss, like, respect him to death. He came from Nevada. You could access Coach Muss.
Oh, yeah. A little easier.
Coach Cal is moving a lot different, and it's weird. And, like, it's cool, but it's like, how many people actually get to talk to Coach Cal? Does he even answer his own phone? Does he have someone do it? Because how many guys are actually trying to get a hold of him, and what's his actual line that he calls? Does he call it off a block number? When Musselman got the job, he called me the first or second week asking about different ball handling guards in the state of the class when Debo, KK, and Isaac McBride were going through. He calls me off his personal cell, and he's like, here, save my number. I don't know if Coach Cal's calling me off his personal cell. Not that I have anyone for him at the moment, but that he moves different.
Yeah,
it's very weird.
He even says that again. I don't know how much you believe. He says he has no access to his Twitter account. Really, he's got 1.5 million followers.
I mean, I don't think any of these guys I don't think any of these guys have access to their Twitter account. Someone's doing it for them because firing off tweets left and right and being that clever is not always in a coach's Rolodex.
No.
But if you have a creative content team, they can do it for you very, very quickly.
Yeah, they can find ways to it. But yeah, it's just fun, man. I think Arkansas basketball is probably at interest level as much of a peak as it's been in a long time. Like, it was always there with Muss, but like, again, you rock the entire sports landscape of everything.
What's the average price going to be of the home opener?
Oh, man, it doesn't even matter who it is either. Like,
it doesn't.
I mean, it's
they bring in John Brown, and you're like, hey,
yep,
$700.
Yep, or even like the red-white game, for crying out loud. I mean, there'll be people showing out for that Midnight Madness type stuff.
If they go to Midnight Madness, like that will be crazy.
That'll be awesome.
That will be nuts. But he's got his brand. He knows how to promote. He knows how to market.
Oh yeah.
And again, I respect Coach Muss a lot. Coach Cal has 10 times more followers.
Oh yeah.
Like he's bigger. He was bigger, and Kentucky fans can hate this all they want. He was bigger than Kentucky basketball. Look at their following. Look at his alone. He's bigger than Kentucky basketball. Now, Kentucky basketball is a blue blood job.
Oh, yeah.
By all means. But Coach Cal also just said, hey, Arkansas is right up there.
Yeah.
So why not leave?
Yeah. No, I get it. Well, Bonnie, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming out, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. It's good seeing you. And then, folks, we're here at Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway, hanging out. Is it beautiful weather? Could not ask for anything better than what you got here. But we're going to be out here for till 6 o'clock. But we'll keep the party going here, hanging out. And come on by and see us. It's a great spot right off the interstate. But we'll get to more of the John Nabors Show and tell you more about everything that's going on here at Rock and Roll Sushi, as well as more of your phone calls and messages. So stay with us here on the other side of the break.
Oh, we're not done yet either. So don't be satisfied. We're not done.
Hey, John, Bob Poth, Arkansas Democrats. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric.
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
Well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you today. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
That's why Arkansas is fantastic. Yes, sir.
You know, and I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh,
Brother, this guy stinks.
you guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
I'm so excited.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the NBC.
It's 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco. Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Nabors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
And welcome back into the John Nabors Show here live from Rock and Roll Sushi in Conway. Appreciate everybody listening in and people coming out too. I mean, fellas, it's got great weather out here too. You can't ever have anything different than this. So how was the rolls?
I had
Hibachi,
that hibachi, and that hibachi was good.
I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed
Hot
by
plate.
how fast I just faced one of those rolls during that interview
Y'all
with
can
Monty.
probably, yeah. Scotty was sitting right there just chowing down, man. It was
Yeah,
going, he was going crazy.
I honestly can't wait to chow down into it. I'm saving these right over here for the VIP roll.
Yeah, the night is young. We need to pace ourselves.
That's true. That's true because it's gonna get crazy here on a Monday night with the Natty
Well,
Steak crew.
well, food wise, I mean,
Yeah.
there's no limits how much we can eat in the next 6 hours. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we may get into a food coma here very soon. But
I'm headed that way.
Dude, yeah. Like I said, I was always telling people, like, you get sushi and you get rolls and everything, but it's like the portions are massive.
They are.
It's like if you go away hungry, that's on you.
That's what I love this. And no shame, and Curtis was hungry and he smashed it. This is the portions they're too big. For
Yeah,
me.
Unreal.
It's so good though. It's so good. So yeah, we appreciate Chris Alley having us out here, and appreciate everybody that's been showing up here, hanging out with us too, and appreciate Monty getting some insight there on behind the scenes thing. I know you guys know Monty from way back when, and what he's been trying to get the fun Arkansas TBT get going. I'm not going to drop any names for that, but I hear that there might be, like a Jalen Tate maybe like getting involved in the Arkansas TBT. So, which is he's a fan favorite.
Would be
My
good
guy.
for that team.
No doubt.
It's my guy. So yeah,
I'd take a Jalen Tate on the Arkansas Razorbacks right now.
Yeah.
Well, that TBT thing is awesome, man, because it's always like right after, like the roster has been built and you're in the summer and there's no hoops going on and like the NBA playoffs are winding down.
Yeah.
You need a fix. And then here comes TBT. You cheer on some former Hogs.
A couple of years ago, I was just like fiending for some kind of basketball.
Yeah.
And Cody Clark appears on my TV.
Cody
and I'm just like,
Clark.
this is going to take care of the next 2 hours of my life.
Dude.
Not
Yeah.
a problem. And then Joe Johnson is on the other team. And so
I'd
set,
watch
bro.
Cody Clark play pick up anywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, he was isn't he like a 6'8" guy, something like that? Like
He was like
6'8",
6'6".
6'7".
It's like an undersized 4.
Yeah.
Who could step out and shoot it a little bit. He was like one of the first stretch fours Arkansas like ever had.
Yeah.
Crazy good rebounder too.
Yeah. He was one of those just solid players.
He'd fill up. He would have like those 12, 8, and 7 games.
Here's a throwback story for you.
Oh gosh, I love
I
these.
was writing in college at the time for Arkansas Fight, led by Doc Harper.
Good times back then. Good
And
times.
I wrote a story explaining why Cody Clark was Arkansas's best all-around player, and Nick Mason asked me to come on the radio to talk about it.
That's a very 2014 statement you just made.
Yeah, that was about 2014, 2015 for sure.
That was the most 2014 sentence of all time.
Yeah, it really was.
What's he doing now?
Doc?
No.
Cody Clark?
Sure. One of those guys that were mentioned in that story. What he's up to these days? Hanging out. But
He played with the Celtics for a few games in the
Nick Mason?
association. No.
Doc?
Doc could hoop.
Dude, it was because that was also during the JUCO days, man. I think like Mike, because like you had, like, isn't that crazy how that was like such a big thing, JUCO and
Daryl
getting
Macon.
players. Daryl Macon, Jalen Barford, Orlando Cook, Cody Clark.
Orlando Cook is the dragon meme.
Dude,
like the 3 dragons. Orlando Cook slipped in there. It was
the only
funny.
one.
I literally took time out of my weekend one time to drive over to Connor State with Pinto and Nick Mason to watch Orlando Cook play a basketball game, and it was underwhelming to say the least.
Dude, you got all these like trops of these old like stories and names.
He racks up steals though.
Is that true? I don't know. I was just not super impressed that day.
I was gonna ask you if that was the time when I was on the show that you came on that show, but I don't think it was. I think that was when I was still at just a guy hitting the buttons on the board at 92 won the ticket.
The Cody Clark story was like 2013, 14 maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
I remember
wasn't there
where I
yet.
was living at the time, and then for the Orlando Cook thing, I think I was out of school.
Dude, the last 30 minutes of these streams always end up with obscure mid 2000s, mid 2010 basketball players.
Dude, that's what we're going for though. Like, because that's when it really gets hot and heavy in the chat. You're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy.
Well, I
Remember
have
that
a good
player.
story then to tell.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, it's story time.
But the
Make it
beauty
happen.
of this story is it's still playing out in real time. So
okay,
a long time ago, I was on campus with my brother to watch the Arkansas Ole Miss game in 2016, and I saw Manny Watkins. And I was a freshman in college, so I thought Manny Watkins was the man. So I was like, "Hey, Manny Watkins, let's take a picture." And we took a picture. I saw Manny Watkins in the media room like within it was this past basketball season, and I showed him. I found the picture, and I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to let you know when I was a freshman in high school." And he was very excited. He was really appreciative that I showed him that.
Good.
Manny Watkins is awesome, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, that was a time when you had 3 kids from Fayetteville High School on the same team, and Kiko, Fred Gully, and Manny Watkins.
I love Kiko, man.
Yeah, listen, I love those guys. I don't think we're ever going to see that again.
No.
Nah, not at least the next 5 years.
The coach's son starting at shooting guard, averaging 4 and 3. You don't think we're going to see that again?
Probably not popping up anytime soon.
That reminds me, it's 5:37 p.m. and Arkansas doesn't have a commit yet.
Wow.
Are we waiting on one?
What are we doing after this? Like, I mean, where'd you say we're going?
Playoff games start at 6.
I think we're sticking around here for
Should
a
we
little
take
bit.
the equipment with us just in case? Should we?
Dude,
I think we're sticking
always
around
have
here.
the equipment with us.
We're always geared up, boys.
Yeah, yeah, we got it for you. I mean, who knows? Maybe when we're at the El Fontaine later.
That's right.
You know, hey, I know that they got some Wi-Fi. Been on there a few times trying to check it out. But low key, do not go there on certain nights because somebody hacked into the AirPlay on one of the TVs and was going through their hinge and putting people on blast in there inside the bar. Oh, it was brutal,
That's
man.
wild behavior.
That is wild.
It was, and no one could figure out it was doing it.
I love that.
It was so mean. And it was, but the thing is, it was a girl doing it for the guys. So, the guys were up there, and they were just. So, my point is that the Wi-Fi it's pretty strong. People just jump on an AirPlay and do it that way. So,
Can we take a moment to talk about Branson and Katie over there?
what about them?
A couple lovebirds back from vacation.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
at big smiles on
I
their
went
faces.
to Disney. I mean, come on.
Disney,
It's the happiest place
like
in the
a
world.
kid again.
Yeah.
They look good over there.
I have to say,
They're happy.
Yeah. Sorry, as I say,
Branson's vibing. Oh, he's putting the headphones
I met
back
Katie's
on.
mom while y'all were up. Everyone was away for some reason. It was just me sitting over there.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask.
I thought it was just someone. I was like, oh crap, we stole someone's seat. She was like, no, Katie's mom was like, all right.
You're part of it.
Somebody in the comments, Curtis, wants your thoughts on Tyrese Hunter to Memphis.
Oh yeah, what about that guy?
Well,
It
I mean, it's
kinda
whatever.
stings.
Tyrese Hunter's a nice player. The more and more guys that come off the board, the more frustrated I get when it happens because Arkansas just hasn't got anyone. And so when we're thinking about point guard options, it's like, well, maybe they'll get Boogie Flan to come over, and he's great for a high school prospect. He's got to put on some weight, but I think he could play right away. I don't know what DJ Wagner. I mean, maybe you want to put the ball in Jonell Davis's hands. I don't know, but it's just he would have been a nice veteran pickup in the backcourt, like Jeremy Roach.
Absolutely.
He's not as good as Jeremy Roach, but it's that kind of player. And when they come off the board and you still don't have any guys, it's like, okay, I know it's coming. I'm not getting too, but it'd be nice if some of these guys would fall towards Arkansas. As far as his fit with Memphis, he'll probably do pretty good there. I mean, he's going to have a lot of freedom. He's going to be able to take shots without getting pulled. And, I think it'll be good for him. I'd rather have hhis teammate Dylan Mitchell, though.
I agree with that.
At Arkansas.
Yeah. I was got a lot of people asking about Joe Johnson, that whole thing that came out, and it's just like, man, I got asked about that. I was like, listen, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. I don't feel the need of saying if they don't get Joe Johnson, this is bad, or if they get Joe Johnson, it's the next changing game world ending. I just don't see how that's the case.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what comes of it, but he's actively following and engaging with recruits on Twitter. So either he's just a big Razorback fan, or
Yeah. Well, maybe he's just settling in and wants that gig and wants to be the guy. Seeing that they're on sidelines, him and Ronnie Burr together, kind of that old the late Nolan Richardson, Stan Heath coaching thing that everyone wanted to see and wanted to see those guys on the same bench together during those glory years. Yeah, totally would happen. So, but it's going to be okay, folks. Again, I know everyone's just freaking out about it, but it'll be okay. I do, though, want to tell everybody, though, since we are Rock and Roll Sushi, also about our friends over at Signature Bank. It's a privately held boutique bank that is redefining. You have a sign? Oh, yeah, you got the sign. We'll have to make you a new one real quick. But they're a boutique bank that's redefining the banking experience in our entire region here in the state of Arkansas. And they have personally invested, business-minded, community-focused, right-sized, and forward-thinking when it comes to all things banking. Now, it's something you just kind of go off to the side, be like, well, my money's so-and-so at so-and-so bank, so therefore I don't need anything. It's done. It's over with. Everything's fine. It's like it's not that case anymore because you actually have to go out and have a place that you trust, a place that you feel comfortable with, that you feel confident with, That's what you get with Signature Bank here in Arkansas. And if you go to their website at www.signature.bank, you can see all the different details that you can see, not only for your business, but also for your personal investment when it comes to all things banking. And you can check out all their locations that are conveniently located across the state of Arkansas, no matter what it is when it comes to banking. Do it with Signature Bank right here in the state of Arkansas. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, we will have more from Rock and Roll Sushi. Close up shop. Try to get some food in us because I am starving. I've been sitting here looking at this food all day long, and it's going to be killing me inside.
Food.
Yeah. So we're going to knock that out. But folks, we'll be right back here on the John Nabors Show live from Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway.
Oh, we're not done yet either. So don't be satisfied. We're not done.
Hey John, Bob Holt, Arkansas Democrats. I added two-parter if that's okay. You mentioned Arkansas. Eric,
Why do you always talk about Arkansas? But go ahead.
well, why do you always talk about Kentucky?
You missed it. You missed it. You missed it. Just tell me you missed it. I'm not going to go there with you today. Why not?
And that will be the last question I answer with that hat on.
Oh, shoot.
It's fantastic.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I didn't like the game, but I'm glad I was able to walk off the floor again and deep inside and have that funny feeling that, hey, one more time, Horns.
Best guys, I know it's a tough time for you. The coach is gone, but you got a new coach now, and you got to listen to what he says. Okay, I know you're thinking, oh, who is this new guy? Where's the other guy that crashed the motorcycle? We like him better. He was cool or whatever. Forget about all that. Listen to the new coach and get out there and win some games.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks. You guys act like it's... Pick it up a little bit. Okay? Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking.
I'm so excited.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
I was a teacher today. Told those boys, welcome to the SEC.
It's 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
Let's stick my dick in the mashed potato. Go Hogs.
Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas.
Every time you put it back in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
The John Nabors Show is live from the Natty State Sports Studios.
All right, so final segment here on the John Nabors Show, live from Rock and Roll Sushi here in Conway. Appreciate them having us out here. Appreciate Chris Alley doing all the things he's done, feeding us, and
well too.
Yeah, I mean, man, this was awesome. I mean, it's just I just ate 2 of those sushi rolls from the VIP roll in about 5.5 seconds, and I'm needing more. I can't wait. It's just it's been awesome to be here. Folks.
How's it you guys with chopsticks?
I'm terrible. I cannot. I was saying, I was like, this
You guys
idea.
go with chopsticks?
No.
I didn't ask for them because I don't even want to find out.
I can handle a sushi roll with it, but like they'll eat like a bowl of rice, which I can't do it.
Dude,
I'm not good at it.
See, here's what pisses me off about these people in their chopsticks. It's like if you can't do chopsticks, they're just like, oh, you don't know how to eat sushi. I'm like, dude, there's a reason why forks were invented because they figured out a better way of doing it.
Yeah.
It's like just do that. Like stop being those people who are like, oh well, I don't know anything about that. So it's like, no, shut up. I want to deal with that stuff. So
no, Cal's hitting too close to home, bro.
They're just telling everybody to be patient, and he's the one I think about to go crazy.
Because y'all won't stop asking me about it.
Yeah, he's gonna turn into Nick Saban on the side after what was his? Who was the girl that he said that to? He's like, I'm not gonna answer. Stop asking. That's what he's gonna become. Is just
Curtis,
Nick
you
Saban
just do
over
the
there.
totally simple thing of climbing into a 16 and 17-year-old's brain.
Yeah,
just do that.
I'm gonna try my best.
That's how. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'd say things get weird when you start doing that stuff. I can't imagine what some of these recruits get into their DMs or vice versa.
No news is good news on DJ Wagner.
Yes. That's another thing too. Is like at least there's some players that have committed, but it's not like all these other teams are just piling up the players. I think that's another thing that you gotta feel good about. Andrew, I'll let you answer this one from Hayden. It says, what baseball team would you least like to see come to a Fayetteville and regional as a 2 seed?
TCU.
Well, TCU always, but TCU's
yeah,
not
no,
as
yeah.
good this year. They don't strike as much fear into me. I've seen a lot of people. I saw Arkansas projected as the 2 seed in their regional was DBU, Dallas Baptist, and people were freaking out. Dallas Baptist just got swept by Air Force, so I'd go ahead and take those dudes. I mean, I know they have good offensive numbers. Everybody is always like worried about the big offense. I would be worried about the team that has like a really good starting pitcher that would, like a lefty starting pitcher that would shut Arkansas out. That would be the team that would strike fear into me. But like some mid-major team that has really good offensive numbers, they wouldn't beat Hagen Smith. So I'm not worried about any of those guys. Guys, I think it's really just a matter of who they. I mean, nobody's beaten Arkansas in Baum Walker this year. Not twice in one weekend, at least. But we'll see how it plays out. But I think it's just a matter of if the offense shows up in Omaha or if they don't. That's what it comes down to.
I still feel like anytime that if I hear Dave Van Horn say, we got a tough draw, I'm like, done. Because every time he says that, they lose.
You know what you know when he didn't say that? Last year. He was like, oh, no big deal. You know, we wanted to play TCU. Yeah, we love those. We love playing those guys.
Yeah, so I'm just going to always, like, no NC State, because even though they're not the same, it's like, no NC State. Maybe Oklahoma State would be fun. Rematch
well, and especially because Oklahoma State beat Arkansas in Arlington.
Yeah.
So everybody
what a crazy game.
Everybody would be doing that bit of like, 2 years in a row. And then Arkansas would just pound those dudes.
I'll throw in Texas A&M if they lose a couple series down the stretch.
They would have to lose a lot of series down the stretch.
Yeah, like all of them. Like all of them.
They would have to lose all the rest of their. They're the number one. They're nasty, dude. Yeah.
Did
they're
I
RPI number one right now, I think.
Did I see that Tennessee
beat
leapfrogged Arkansas? And
no, they didn't. People thought they were going to.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. People like a few people, but Arkansas was number 2 across the board this week. Tennessee did beat Kentucky in a series
on the road,
but they won't play unless it's in.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play Tennessee this
Right.
year. Yeah, or in Omaha,
which is kind
of.
of.
But they do play Kentucky, who apparently is good these years.
Yeah,
they're still number 1 in the SEC. It's crazy.
Arkansas and Tennessee need to play each other every year in the SEC slate. As long as Patel is there and as long as Dave Van Horn's here, they have to play each other. Like, remember when they changed the schedule?
To make it happen?
To make it. They put out the schedule. Yeah, they put out the schedule like, oh, crap. Gary, did you forget to put them on the schedule? Like, oh, sorry, boss. And they had to change it real quick, and then it ended up happening.
And then Arkansas swept them.
Yes.
Just whipped it out on them. That was
then
beautiful.
Tennessee went to the World Series, and Arkansas didn't. So that's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah,
I know. Aiden
well,
said
Arkansas will have the last laugh in the Arkansas-Tennessee baseball rivalry, which will only last about 3 more years.
if that, yeah, because it may be a rivalry
there was precisely one person keeping this rivalry alive, and leave it at that.
It's gonna change. Also, Aiden says bring back Benintendi or Ficacello because they have
somebody
less
asked
names.
if you could bring one player from any other team to this one, it would have to be a hitter, 100%.
Benintendi, then, right?
I think I would go Heston Kjerstad.
I would say him or Kjerstad. Man,
Kjerstad
It's
was
got to be an outfielder for this year's team.
Yeah, I think you would take Heston Kjerstad and throw him in left or right field and just let him cook.
I got tweeted out the other day. It's like the fact that we got robbed of Heston Kjerstad's final year is just so disappointing.
I would feel so much better about this outfield right now if it were Kendall Diggs, Heston Kjerstad, and Peyton Holt in center. Just be like, whatever. By the way, Peyton Holt.
Shout out to Peyton Holt.
Yeah.
No, Peyton Holt, by the way, credit to everybody who never sold that Peyton Holt stock.
That's right.
All of a sudden now he's hitting 381 against SEC pitching after hitting 390 against SEC pitching. Maybe just play the dude every day. I don't know.
Not bad, yeah.
You can't give up on a Greenwood kid, man.
No, you can't. Hey, he's good for it, ain't he, Scotty?
He's good for it.
It didn't make any sense why we just spent 6 weeks of the season not playing him at all. It just didn't make any sense why we didn't get to watch Peyton Holt play for
the
6
Caliph
weeks.
battle of baseball.
No, legit. It's one of those things in Omaha. I'm gonna send this group message to text and be like, y'all remember in March when Peyton Holt was just getting DNP coaches decisions 3 times a weekend? Like, it didn't make any
battle
sense.
treatment.
No, literally, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about Peyton Holt too. He's number 24. There's something about 24 and outfielders just go together, man. Like Dominic Fletcher.
Shout out to Dom Fletcher, who's about to be the reason Benintendi gets pushed out the door in Chicago.
Oh no!
Full circle, man. That's right. It all comes out there too. Let's see. Jason says I'm ready to see them play in person tomorrow, but getting runs against UAPB.
No,
we were Jack.
We were talking about this, but dude, I just want them to do it. Like, they scored 20 against Grambling. I have not looked up anything about UAPB, but I'm gonna assume they They don't have an elite pitching staff.
That's a good assumption.
I think this is the week you got to get everybody. I want to see Kendall Diggs swinging the stick a little bit. He's been working his way back from injury. I want to see them just open up a can on these boys. You know?
About time because they
never play well in Dickie Stevens, so they're probably going to lose 4-3 tomorrow. But
don't say that because that's just going to open up a whole thing of just being like, hey, we need to stop playing games in Dickie Stevens.
Doesn't make sense.
Man, just Cody's saying Peyton Holt should play left field, Ty in center, and then Diggs and right, JSL at third, and Sousa at DH.
Just snuck Ty Wilmsmeyer in there. That's interesting.
No, I was about to say, I had to think about it. I was like, Ty. Oh, yeah, Ty Wilmsmeyer.
Parker Rowland did have a great game 3. I was just saying, somebody commented on my YouTube and said that he was the Hudson Clark of baseball. So do with that what you will.
The no-fly zone. Butternut Squash is wanting Curtis to have his babies. Or her babies.
Their babies.
One of their babies, yeah.
Get in line.
Seriously.
I
will say, like, as far as the chats go, like Curtis, like somehow Curtis will just like get like when we were at the Drake Field thing, the chats start blowing up with some of the craziest things about Curtis. I'm like,
people
what
were
is
trying
happening?
to climb that tree.
I don't know, man. I'm just here.
Let's say.
What do you think about point guard being the last position Arkansas should be
It
recruiting?
should be the first position they're recruiting.
Just
after
don't
last
recruit.
year.
I just say don't recruit it at all.
Then it'll go back to like the Stan Heath days because that literally was like there was no point guard that was ever there.
I mean, the Eric Musselman days didn't have much
that
of a
too.
point guard either.
That too. Yeah, but it's like I remember it was like Gary Irvin was your point guard for like 3.5 seasons. It just never worked out.
Hey,
but
number 0, Gary Irvin.
Gary Irvin. Yep. Transferred from Mississippi State, which was such a big deal because he had to sit out a year and like
Back when transfers.
I
didn't play for a year.
I went to an Arkansas Appalachian State basketball game in North Little Rock.
I was there
a while back.
Yes.
App State is beating Arkansas, and App State's point guard is shooting free throws. And this dude right behind me and my dad, he stands up. He's like, "Hey, Gary Irvin, that's what a real point guard looks like." Just the toughest thing that you could hear in a quiet arena, dude.
That Appalachian State game was the first game that my sister went to basketball, and we shamed her like she has not been to another one. We've shamed her so much to where we're like, you got us App Stated, you know. So,
you know, what's crazy? They used to play like Illinois in Little Rock, in North Little Rock. Like they would play Illinois. They played Oklahoma State,
like Houston,
Texas
there.
Tech.
The only time
Texas
they'll
Tech.
do that is if they do an NCAA tournament. If Little Rock gets to host
That
again,
will
which
never
will not
happen
happen.
again. That will never happen again. But yeah, I remember the whole thing was that Oklahoma State, Frank Broyles didn't want Eddie Sutton come back to Fayetteville, so that's why. Looking, DJ, you're gonna
Give Curtis the floor.
Yeah, Curtis. Yeah, I do want to address this this man here. It's,
Where the hell was I hating? what does that even mean?
You are pretty hateful all the time. Just your
Boogie and
demeanor.
DJ are good enough to be your starter and backup. Stop hating Curtis.
Hey, if they want to go ahead and commit, we will celebrate their commitment. But you know,
Yeah, we'll even buy a round.
Somebody's
here
gonna
at
have to
Rock and Roll
refresh me
Sushi.
on where I said anything about that. I don't know. It's crazy.
Caden says Arkansas should do the NBA 2K thing and just draft a team ball of power forwards and see what happens.
corner the market on one position and have teams trade with you for them. Yeah, that's always smart. I
Seems
did
like
that
a
in
good
fantasy
thing.
football one year. I drafted 5 quarterbacks.
How'd that go?
I ended up trading a couple of them for some decent running backs.
Yeah, you're playing the long game here. New Gene wants to know if Andrew's in the sauce.
Yes.
Is it in the
Sure.
sauce or on the sauce?
Or
it doesn't matter.
I mean,
He is
if
the
you get
sauce.
lost in it, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, lost in the sauce. It's all relative.
I'm doing all right, New Gene, but
Yeah.
talk to me at 8:30. I won't be.
At 8:30 at night.
It's very specific, but
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I just give me a decent amount of time. You know, that gives me 2.5 hours to get active.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to build up towards that.
All right, have we talked about snacks yet?
We mentioned it. Snacks.
We did?
Yeah.
We can talk about it some more.
Was I not here?
I think you were. It was a
he
passing
was,
mention. Yeah, it wasn't anything major.
Danico Slaughter took his job, and
100%
that's why
his
he's
job.
gone.
100%.
That's why he's leaving.
And he took his ball and went home.
It was like post spring break occurrence. I'm charting the defense on my notepad, and I'm like,
Well, you remember
Snacks is on the second
when we were
team,
in the
Slaughter's
press
on
box.
first.
I thought I was confused because I was like, wait a minute, is this the first team defense? Because Snacks was the first guy I saw, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
these are the ones. And then I was like, wait a minute, Caden Henley. Wait a minute. You know, I was like very confused.
Yeah.
It took me a while to realize, but at the spring game, yeah, he was running with the second team, like, and yeah.
Listen, if he was running with the first team and then he transferred, I'll be like, oh, geez, what happened here? But yeah, it's very evident as to what happened. Like,
Yeah.
it's that. It's simply that.
Hey, but who would have thought this? Of all the like secondary guys they had returning, Hudson Clark, Jaden Johnson, Snacks, Braxton, Keon Stewart, whoever. How about Snacks being the one they ended up recruiting over?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, wouldn't have guessed that.
Also, shout out to Hudson Clark.
Ew.
Oh,
I don't think that's true.
I hope that's not
Well,
true.
I shouldn't say because I have no idea, but that's wild if it is.
That's crazy.
Counts, stop spreading fake news if it's fake. You're going to get people to
If
read
it's
it.
fake.
Yeah, if it's fake.
I'm praying it's real. I'm praying it's real.
So we're playing that video tomorrow on the show.
Hey, I was
leading off.
told by a Florida State fan yesterday that the running back that Sam got out of the portal, pretty nice.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. I don't know if he's going to be taking Dubinion's carries because that's saying a lot. Like him and JJ are the top two guys, but
yeah,
nice little change of pace, good vision.
What he had is like they said 437 yards in the 2 seasons he was there. He had a redshirt year. He's 3-star coming out of high school. I know he didn't have a huge offer list, but it's about building depth. I mean, I would be a little concerned if they went out and got the number 1 running back in the transfer portal when you already got at least 2 bona fide dudes back there.
Yeah.
So just building depth.
The thing is, though, adding a running back at this point, I feel like it's going to make another one transfer out.
Yeah.
They should have just kept Isaiah Augustov around.
Might as well.
I feel like I was way higher on him than everybody else.
Augustov?
I thought Augustov was really
no,
good.
I mean, in the spring, he had that one scrimmage. He was really good.
Yeah, he had a huge day.
Yeah, I think that maybe that's what rubbed Augustov the wrong way is that R-Dub and JJ just immediately were kind of the two that we all, not we all, the coaching staff kind of glorified as the first team because Augustov really wasn't working in with the ones that
and
much.
then they loved him some Braylon Russell, and Damo's going to get his courtesy touch.
He's Arkansas, you know.
Yeah.
And also Jimmy Smith Augustov was a big Jimmy Smith guy who when Jimmy Smith offered Augustov, he was like a mid-range 3-star, and then as soon as Jimmy Smith offered him, people started catching on.
He was in on it, yeah. He was in on it
so
early.
I bet he was really tight with Jimmy Smith, and so Jimmy Smith not being there, plus him not working in with the ones, like it kind of makes sense, but
yeah, thoughts on Worth?
You looked into him yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
I love bodies
a little bit. I think Jacksonville State kids are tough.
Yeah,
just kind of by design, but
he had
it's kind of
some odd tackles,
right?
Yeah, it's tough, man. I felt so much better about a Jaheim Thomas from a Cincinnati than I do from
I'd much rather have a good player than a bad one.
He's not that big, but he had 60 some odd tackles, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and an interception.
Yeah.
So at least he did something.
He's at least, you know what he is? He's a body that can play linebacker, and Arkansas doesn't have room to be picky about that. They should get as many of those dudes who can play linebacker at the collegiate level.
I think at this rate at linebacker, it's going to be Brad Spence and then a rotating cast of characters.
Well,
is what I think.
Honestly, I think Worth is not going to be good because out of that cringy tweet caption that Arkansas put out of Worth the wait, I wanted to post the Dolitos bag of chips and send out don't ever say that again. Worth the wait for this guy. No offense, but don't drop that.
Hashtag not worth the wait.
Yeah, not everybody needs a thing. Not every player that sometimes just welcome linebacker Worth. Welcome him in. Thank you.
Well, the tough part about this guy, and look, no disrespect to the guy, he may be a good player, but it's just when you have a bunch of guys who you knew what they were transfer out. You had Pupal transfer out. You had Jaheim Thomas transfer out. Hell, you even had Jordan Crook, who had been playing and been kind of working his way up the depth chart. It's just tough to replace these guys with not really much,
Yeah.
But, it is what it is.
Who gets the next transfer portal commitment, Sam Pittman or John Calipari?
I'm going to go Cal. I'm going to go Cal.
I'm going to go Pittman.
Okay. Calipari better. He better get the
Calipari
next.
might get a freshman.
Sam's got 2 right now. Cal's
are we
got
talking
1.
portal?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
portal.
if it's just portal, then it might be.
Hold on, guys. We got some breaking news here at the very end. Chat's
that?
blowing up about it. About Carter Knox. Can we confirm?
I think Cal will get a commitment right now.
Let's see. I'm trying to confirm this. There it is. Breaking according to Joe Tipton. Carter Knox has committed to Arkansas and will follow John Calipari.
We gave him till what time?
Did we not say
literally
6?
6 o'clock.
Did we not say as soon as we get done?
So we just get off of here and go
Hey.
live again?
I mean, hey, if you want to.
Nobody ever say that Natty State didn't do anything for Arkansas. We
Right.
demanded Carter Knox commit, and he did.
Yep.
Hang on, I got to send a tweet.
Okay.
Send a tweet.
Send the tweet. Send the
There
tweet.
you go.
Give us the tweet. Tweet's
The
good.
chicken burger man is here. Shooter.
Carter Knox. The K. So you know it's good.
Fort Knox.
Hang on, I got to
Or
send
Knox.
another tweet.
Okay. I'll be over here.
Do you need me to put the story out?
Now we have to
Do you need me
work.
to put the story out?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Y'all about to see behind the curtain of how these things work. Scotty is about to craft a story firsthand. Just kidding. It was already written months ago. But
seeing how the sausage is made behind the scenes, how it happens. So that's good. Good deal.
Got him.
Shout out to Ozzy's in the chat.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's who we need in here. Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Ozzy because I was on my phone for a while earlier, and Curtis and Scotty were trying. They were like, "Oh, he's texting Hillary. Oh, he's texting his girl." Blah blah blah. I was like, "No, actually, I was responding to Ozzy on Twitter. I was not texting Hillary."
Oh gosh. Yeah. Oh, okay, I got it. There's a video for Curtis. Yeah, go check that out, folks. It's a good one.
Okay.
It's like the one of Calipari doing his
yeah,
little
yeah.
backflip and stuff.
Dude, our Pinata Farm game has been on point lately.
We got some good
Yeah,
stuff.
I feel
man.
pretty good about it.
Got some good stuff.
Hey, but like we said, now you've got Carter Knox, Big Z, and Lawson Blake. They can run 3-man weave at practice. You can get something done.
Nope.
Now.
Yeah, that is it.
No,
So-
Carter Knox he's good. We watched quite a bit of film on him, and if you remember at the intro press conference with Calipari, he said that he's going to be a little bit more aggressive with transfers, but he said you can still have freshmen, but if you're going to have them, they've got to be tough and they've got to be physical. And Carter Knox is 6'6", 226 pounds, and he looks like a grown man.
Yeah.
So I like it. He can get downhill. I think he's got the frame to defend at this level, and I think there's something to his jump shot.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of work to do. He shot 34% from 3 at OTE this year, scored 20-some-odd points per game. I think he got something to work with there. He's a nice player.
I think he's the kind of guy who will work no matter who the surrounding talent is. Because, that's the tough thing when we're trying to talk about this roster that we don't know what's going to look like. You bring in a guy like John L. Davis or even a guy, Boogie Fland, who if he were to commit, maybe a little bit more designed to be ball dominant. And Carter Knox is certainly going to get plenty of offense. He's going to create his own. But I feel like he's a guy that can work with a bunch of different, it doesn't really matter who's around him. His skill set plays at any level, at any team, in any rotation, and I just feel like it's gonna be, that's a guy that if you're building your roster, it's really easy to start with a guy like that who's kind of a nice complementary piece no matter what. That's a burger boy, that's a chicken boy.
That's right.
That's a big time commitment, man.
Chicken man, burger
that's
boy.
the kind of guy that 2 weeks ago Arkansas didn't have a chance at even have it on their roster.
And it's crazy. I mean, he's a top 20, like a unanimous across the board top 20 prospect in the country. And if you think about as well as Eric Musselman did recruiting, at Arkansas, Knox is still going to fall in the top, definitely the top 10, maybe pushing the top 5 in the most highest rated recruits Arkansas has had in the rankings era.
Isn't that crazy that we're reacting this way of just kind of like, good to see Carter Knox commit. Whereas 4 years ago, if a 5-star recruit,
it just changes everything.
Whoa, we would have stopped the press.
I mean, he's higher ranked than Bay
Moses
Ball,
Moody.
higher ranked than Moses Moody. Higher ranked than Jordan
KK,
Walsh was.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in the Anthony Black range, a little bit lower than AB was, but that's what
Still
we're talking
good.
about here. So
Still great.
it's a great pickup.
Well, I'm going to allow you guys to decide if you guys go live talking about it on the Pod the Palace.
We're definitely about to go
'cause
live and
We
talk
are.
about it.
We're
Yeah.
going to end this stream here as well. Your folks are live from Rock and Roll Sushi. Really appreciate them having us out here in Conway, and they got great locations around Central Arkansas. Even the new one in Fayetteville too. So to check it out, if you haven't, it's awesome. Appreciate them. Appreciate everybody listening in, watching in, having fun with us. And we're going to keep it moving this week. And the Tour Day Central Arkansas Twin Peaks is tomorrow. So looking forward to that. So,
Curtis, you see that? Ellis knows ball.
That's right.
Ellis knows B-ball. Dr. Sauerbaum. Hardwood hoop Ellis over here dropping those takes. Maybe I'll show up on the Pod of the Palace. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go to the bathroom and let them take care of it. But who knows? We'll see.
Great way to end this stream.
Well,
Thank you
stay tuned,
so
folks.
much. Yeah, stay tuned for Pod of the Palace going live talking about Carter Knox. Have a great rest of y'all's day.